Guys, what's going on, guys? Night shift, here we are. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys. Keyshawn's here as usual. He says, Andrew Wilson cooked this dude facts. Yorgi Grease is in the house, man. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die. On these shields, boys.
Red Door's here. Rajai's here. Rajai, good. It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see here. Okay, so guys, here we go. Let's break some news first. I don't know if you guys saw this story yet. Let's break some news first.
The very best.
Look at this, guys. Did you hear the story, guys? How many times have I told you guys that there's all these hate crimes that are faked, right? They just are. Like, people, we live in such a post-racial society or a post-hate crime society that people have to make them up, you know? Guys, check this out.
Just praying for her. We wish her the very best.
Brief words from South Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew about a now former staffer accused of lying about being the victim of a violent, politically motivated attack at this nature reserve in Egg Harbor Township.
I don't know any more than you all do, and we never would interfere with an investigation.
Federal prosecutors say 26-year-old Natalie Green staged the elaborate hoax in July with another woman who made a frantic call to 911. Investigators say Green concocted a story about 3 men who bound her hands and feet with zip ties, along with a shirt pulled over her head. According to court records, President Trump's name and a derogatory comment were written on her stomach. A separate political message was on her back.
I'm not sure why somebody would want that type of attention. It's crazy how the world is today.
Because she is a woman. Right, guys?
Yep.
Do we need any other reason than that? No.
Green is also accused of paying a body modification artist to deliver.
Look at that.
You know what
guys?
you can do? Dude, you can go up there and play tic-tac-hoe. Oh!
Oh!
Right on her arm there.
Look at that, guys. Look at that right there. How sick do you have to be?
Man.
Look at that.
Her face, neck, chest, and shoulder based on a pattern she provided.
It's probably something that she thought about for a long period of time.
Of course.
Daniel Garabrandt is a retired FBI special agent.
To actually have permanent damage done to your body that will be there forever is extremely extreme. I mean, she will likely be permanently scarred from what she did.
No one
He meant permanently stupid, right?
answered the door at Green's house in Ocean City. She's free on bond following a Wednesday court appearance on charges related to planning and making false statements about a staged attack. It drew resources from local, state, and federal authorities.
They committed a lot of manpower to this.
A statement from Green's lawyer said in part that she served her community with loyalty and fidelity while working for
the lie detector determined that was a lie.
The congressman, and that under the law, she's presumed innocent. People who frequent the nature reserve tell me mobile surveillance cameras went up here over the summer. And they say when word of the reported incident
didn't even realize it,
spread,
dummy.
so did fear.
I have family members who don't even come to the reserve anymore. I hope she gets the help that she needs.
Ted Greenberg, NBC.
Now, guys, and here's the inside edition story.
The images are shocking. A woman with an anti-Trump message.
You can get it right here.
Yeah.
You know, she should grow her hair out a little more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Right?
you are a
She's like all these
short-haired
babes. Get
bigot.
their pilot lit. They can suck start a leaf blower.
I had an ex-girlfriend in college who was like, you know, an attractive chick, but she cut her hair super short, right? And then I told one of my friends, I'm like, dude, man, she cut her hair. It looks like dog shit, right? And then when my friend's girlfriend saw the girl that I was with, she's like, oh my, see, your hair doesn't look that bad. I'm like, this girl totally sold me up the river, man. You're trying to tell me my hair doesn't look bad. No, I hate short hair on chicks. I just do. It's I feel like it's just them trying to stand out and make a statement. It's a whole feminist thing. You know what I mean?
I'm good
It's
with
like,
it as long as it's not a buzz cut.
It's like going again. Okay, go to like anywhere where there's Hispanic or Asian cultures. Do you see long short hair? No. Why? Because long hair is no, you don't. Where?
Yeah, you do.
Where?
Short hair in Japan and Korea.
No, you don't. In general, no, you don't. In general, if you walk around in Korea, you do not see short hair. You don't.
Okay.
Short hair is not an Asian thing. Like you might see maybe older Asian women once they're old, maybe, but like if there were like Asian women, Hispanic women, Middle Eastern women, even though they cover their hair, like long hair is a sign of femininity. You know what I'm saying? Of vitality for like women. Like you go to Brazil, you go to even China, Japan, Vietnam. You don't really see short hair on chicks. It's just a thing. I remember there was. I should probably get the word whore off the screen, right? That's probably good for the algorithm, But in general, guys, short hair is just like trying to make a statement, trying to be like, oh yeah, I want to stand out, or I'm trying to look like just something different than a regular woman.
Torso.
I read that it means they resent their mother sometimes.
This isn't as bad.
Yeah.
I think once it's above the ears, you're cooked.
All over her body and face. She claimed she was the victim of a politically motivated attack. Now, the FBI says it was all just an elaborate hoax. Stephen Fabian has the details, and we want to warn you, these images are intense.
They are. So, guys, like Holly Berry, with the shortcut, she looked good, but with the long hair, she looks even better. Any woman who looks great with short hair looks even better with long hair,
Horrific images. A woman's body is covered with slashes, red with blood. The glamorous woman told cops she was attacked by
glamorous.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And guys, look,
she's gonna have a cut up. Oh,
Guys, what sucks is she's a pretty chick too.
Yeah,
she gonna have cuts.
Why'd she do this?
Have scars on the side of her face and neck.
I'll tell you why she did it. She's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
She's a mental case. Anybody who's gonna do that,
guys, we all know the
mental
whole
case.
Craziness to looks scale, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
As hotter they are, the crazier they are. Well, here in the West, the hotter they are, the crazier they are. Because guys, you go to Colombia, you go to the DR, you go to the other places, the chicks are just hot. There's just hot chicks everywhere. So like the norm in Brazil is decently hot chicks. You go everywhere, they're just everywhere. So like looks are not that big of a deal like they are here. That's honestly why Hispanic guys and Brazilian guys crush so many hot chicks. It's because to them looks don't really mean anything. Like they're just used to just hot chicks. Whereas some guys in the West are, she's hot, bro. You know what I'm saying? But Jorge is like, look, man, I don't see what the big deal is.
Right. No, you hit it. You are correct.
Once you just remember Kevin Samuels, he used to say that all the time. He goes, you're used to disarming men with your looks, but I've been around plenty of the beautiful chicks, and looks don't do anything to me. So
She was attacked by 3 men who hate President Trump. Written on her stomach
Doesn't
with what
even work.
looks like a Sharpie, the terrible words, Trump whore. On her back, Van Drew is racist. The woman worked for Congressman Jeff Van Drew, a Republican from New Jersey. She's been identified as 26-year-old Natalie Green. She's also a student at Rutgers Law School. Authorities.
Oh, she's she's not going to be a lawyer now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But she was going to law school too. This is why you don't date lawyers, guys. I'm telling you.
Jesus,
Just like dating cops, they know the law and they will make your life a living hell, man.
Say they received a 911 call from Green and another woman saying she'd been attacked here at the Egg Harbor Nature Reserve in New Jersey. Now, Green told the 911 operator that 3 men approached them around 10 p.m., carved the slashes into her body with a scalpel, and then left her restrained with zip ties. This is an image from body cam footage after officers arrived on the scene. Green's arms are tied behind her back and her feet also zip tied. Now, a shocking twist. Police say it was all a hoax. Her story began to unravel after questioning by the FBI. Authorities say Green paid a body artist $500 to cut her body with a scalpel. Court papers say she drew this image and told him exactly what she wanted him to do.
Well, no. These body artist people, they're the ones that insert things under people's skin and give them horns and all that weird stuff. So it's just like going to a tattoo artist to them. You know?
But
Now she's charged.
I've cut myself with a really sharp knife on accident, and that hurts like a son of a.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what this is like with a scalpel.
Usually, people who feel pain have to have a soul. Do you see a soul anywhere in these eyes?
Good point.
Papers say she drew this image and told him exactly what she wanted him to do. Now she's charged with making false statements to federal law enforcement.
The Congressman Natalie Green worked for sent us a message saying he hopes she's getting the help she needs.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Isn't that absolutely insane? Like literally insane.
Yeah, this is insane. She also put the hoe into hoax.
Guys, there was a thing about those people that were trying to shoot at ICE, and they're getting charges, but I couldn't find it. So, yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad news, guys. That's what happens. People put these chicks just into any type of politics. Just anything. Bad news.
Yeah, I wonder what her goal, the person that cut themselves, what the end goal was going to be.
I think it was
attention.
Yeah, and then maybe she wanted to like use that to like act like some conservative pundit. You know what I'm saying? Probably.
Yeah,
They just eat up the attention.
Yeah. I mean,
but I'm saying like,
you remember?
like I don't really see like too much of an upside for.
Well, that's because they don't think that all the way through.
Oh, is this the Ponytail Patrol? Hold on. Dude, the Ponytail Patrol shows up and a drunk guy grabs her gun and tries to take it. You know, guys, we'll watch this last. I'll keep this up because I'm sorry. Guys, the Ponytail Patrol is absolutely useless, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely useless. There's another story, but guys, I think that we need to get into this here because we have a long
There's still more because this guy, I watched part of it and he's smoked.
There's a Q&A, and then I think Omni had said that one of his friends gets up there and cooks this guy. But hey, Colin Snowboard Cork. So guys, let's pump the brakes. Guys, I refuse to listen to this stupid, boneheaded, knuckle-dragging argument that if you criticize Islam, you're a racist. Please, come on.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Guys, Islam is not a race. There's white Muslims, there's black Muslims, there's African Muslims, there's Asian Muslims, there's Arab Muslims, there's Mesopotamian, Babylonian ethnic Muslims.
Uzbekistan and stuff.
Yeah, Pakistanis, there's Indian Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Guys.
I was gonna say there's hold on. Go ahead.
So like if you think about it, and I said this once before, the people in Morocco, Libya, you know, that whole North African area, Iraq, Iran, Palestine, thousands of years ago, there was thousands of different languages, religions, cultures that had nothing to do with the Arabs or the Muslims, right? Guys, they were colonized by the Arabs. They were Arabized, but they're not ethnic Arabs. The only ethnic Arabs come from the Arabian Peninsula. You think that people in Azerbaijan are Arabs? You think that people in Uzbekistan or in Dagestan and the Caucasus Mountains are Arabs? No. The people in the Caucasus Mountains are the Avars and all those peoples, you know what I'm saying, who have their own unique languages and cultures that were almost eradicated by the Arabs. So guys, Islam is not a race of people, and I don't know why the British, all the Europeans will not fight back against that argument. How many times have you seen Korg, Snowboard, Colin in the British news? You've said this about Muslims and you're racist. It's not.
Well,
what are you talking about? Islam is not a race.
I want to point something out. So this has been driving me nuts for decades. You have racism, stereotyping, and bigotry, and nobody knows what the difference of those three words are.
Yeah.
And
True. That's fact,
the predominant one I attribute to a certain hillbilly from Little Rock, Arkansas, named Hillary Clinton, who was asked a question back when she was running for president. And I don't remember what the question was, but she popped off and said, "That's a racist statement." And the statement had nothing to do with race.
Yeah. Yep.
And people from then on have just been abusing the word racist.
Yeah. Yep. It's true. Where it doesn't even mean anything anymore. You know, guys, this is one of the funny things about the whole Pearly Things villain arc that she's on when it comes to Black YouTube. Like all these small Black channels are like crashing out over the fact that Pearly Things has done like all these Black fatigue panels and everything. Then just says, guys, go listen to it. It's hilarious. My brother moderated the last one. It was hilarious, right? But like all the people are Pearly Things versus the Black YouTube. And all they do is crash out, and then she just gets more content to make money off of, you know? It's hilarious. You know? So guys,
well,
once again.
The thing I wanted to point out a little bit earlier is everybody thinks Islam is only just one particular flavor of Islam. That's like saying there's only one flavor of Christianity.
Yeah, that's
so true. The major branches, I looked this up real quick. The major branches of Islam are the Sunni, the Shia, the Ahmadi, the Ahmadiyya, and the Sufis.
Yeah.
So
we all know.
And none of them get along with each other.
When you put the Shia and the Sunni in the same place,
right? Yeah. Look at the latest country that the United States screwed up. When we went into Afghanistan, they had to draft a constitution that gave all the different flavors of Islam equal representation in their constitution. And those guys, they were barely able to get the country moving in their government because they were all fighting before the ink had even dried.
It's true. That's true. But once again, a lot of that's still this noble savage theory, right? Where everyone thinks that the West is so bad and everyone else is just so amazing and noble. and good and blah 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 blah.
And I think they believe like up to 95% of the same. Everything is the same. They just like
but
have
but
a minor
Snowboard, this is how it
disagreement.
usually works, though. People agree on most things, but the small things that they disagree on are big. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Catholics and the Protestants. You know, like doctrine wise, they believe in a lot of the same stuff, except you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the Methodists, the Baptists, the Southern Baptists.
I mean, you look at how much more different that the Mormons are than like anyone else, and then you compare like Lutherans and Catholics are much more like than the Mormons, right? So, but it's just these certain church doctrinal things, you know, like the whole. Okay, well, we might agree on everything that. Or the Anglican Church. The Anglican Church is basically like the Catholic Church. Just, that Pope guy in Italy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, the churches look the same. Everything looks the same. They just say that the king is the Pope of their church. That's a big difference. That might be just one difference, but that's a big one, you know? So, anyways, Noble One. Hey, what's up, dude? And guys, here, I'll drop the link. Guys, anyone who's come on up, guys. Just mods, thanks you guys for being extra vigilant with the trolls, because this topic and any type of Andrew Wilson topic that involves religion or in this stuff, guys, we will have trolls. So, guys, thanks for keeping these idiots in check. So, I appreciate you guys. And so where were we, guys? The last time that we checked, this guy is saying that why is it not okay to bang your cousin, right? This guy had just been. You guys remember how Rocky got beat up by Mr. T in the first one? You know, I mean the
Rocky
first
3.
time, Rocky 3, how he got beat up. That's how Andrew beat this dude up. just destroyed him in the first round, you know?
Fine.
Dude, he beat the guy like a baby harp seal.
90 average IQ country that abides by traditional values, that abides by whether they be Christian or Muslim. I actually prefer the low IQ Christian countries that value marriage. They don't have degeneracy. They don't have prostitution. I value those Christian countries even when they have a lower IQ, a 90 IQ, an 80 IQ. That's beautiful. They're living beautiful lives. Yeah, you can make fun of them. Oh, they have donkeys pulling their carts.
You might have a point,
but they're
actually.
living beautiful lives.
No,
he doesn't.
Well, let me just say this. I'm not saying like I think he's right. I'm saying what I think he's trying to illustrate is like ignorance is bliss. Some people who are stupid like that don't think as much, therefore they don't question as much, therefore they kind of can be happier in a way.
Yeah, but the issue is, once again, what did Andrew say? Not only are they stupid, but they can't defend themselves. So what would stop Russia from like invading, like directly invading like the Christian areas where they're dumber, like Central America? Like, what if Russia just out and out invaded Guatemala? What's Guatemala gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Yes, they have more family and all this other stuff. The IQ is lower, but they're cooked. I would rather have a high IQ, high functioning society that can defend itself, that has to work on scaling back the cancer of this, feminist secularist foolishness with the anemones we have now, than be on the lower end and trying to claw our way up to where we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
as Christians or as Muslims or any other religious group.
Well, I guess ignorance really is bliss.
Yeah, creepy says those with Down syndrome.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. On Earth. Yeah. Hold on.
Because you're aware of less problems, basically.
Hold on. But that doesn't mean that they don't exist, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Andrew's still right. I'm just saying, I think that's a different way the guy could have illustrated the point.
Let's see here. Hold on, guys. Let's see. The Amish, I believe, have an average IQ because up till 8th or 9th grade they use schools that are equal to ours. That's why.
That's correct. Up to the 8th grade.
Yes. Yep. So that's why the Amish have pretty high IQs.
Oh, go on. That was a neat
slapping your dress.
Stand
So
up,
look,
guys.
let's point this
Stand
out.
as what your priest
Let's
wears.
point this out.
all right,
Let's point this out. Right? We just want to look. We haven't gotten personal with each other. We can go the rest of the debate. We both got a jab in. All right, that's fair. So here's the thing, though. Right? This is still not a refutation of my argument.
It's not.
The historical standard is Christians had lower IQs back in the day. Yeah, and they didn't build modern civilization back in the day.
Yeah.
Modern civilization requires.
Once again, I said this once before, guys. What got us up to here, this secularist crap that this guy is talking about is an invention of the last 40, 50 years. Go back to the 50s, 60s, and even 70s. Was it 9 out of 10 people were religious? It wasn't until I want to say the late 80s or 90s where religiosity started actually going down to like the 60s, 70%. Actually, I think it's like 75%. Hold on. What percentage of the U.S. is religious?
And a lot of that was due to drugs and New Age type of thinking that started basically in the 60s.
Oh, wow. I guess we're down to 47% of the United States identifies as religious. But this is still recent. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Was religious in 1990. Let's see. In 1990, 86% of Americans identified as Christian.
Wow.
86%. Let's go to 1970. 1970. Anyone want to guess?
I'm gonna guess 70%. I think it probably went lower.
I'm gonna say closer
from
to
partying
90.
and stuff.
Yeah, Corey's right. In 1970, 90% of U.S. adults identify with Christian religion. 90%. So only since the 90s has it really, 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 really been a drop off in religiosity, right? But once again, this is a generational thing, and once again, we can kind of look. People get more religious as there's more crisis. You know what I'm saying? Part of the ignorance and arrogance of abundance is less religion. You know?
Yeah.
So,
well, there's
guys,
that
once again,
saying like,
yeah,
people always pray in a foxhole. Or
yeah. Guys, I'm not religious at all. That's just the thing. But guys, once again, if I look across all the woke, bull ring wearing, green haired morons, and then look on the other side, and there's a bunch of Christians there, who am I going to go hang out with? Sorry, guys, I'm not going over to the bull ring side. I'm not. I'm just not going to. So,
professional middle management, 100 to 115 IQ, right? 85 to 100 for skilled labor. What they're talking about is just basic day laborers. These people are very low IQ. And by the way, I'm going to even make the claim that they're really choosing Islam anyway. They can't really think about it that hard, right? So the question becomes, right, as we're kind of diving into this, I just want to point out one more time, The argument is around a singular Christian principle. The singular Christian principle is that we're not allowed to marry our first cousins. That's in our ecclesiology. And I don't care if you're a Protestant, right? Almost no Protestants do this, right? No Catholics do this. Orthodox, this is forbidden as well. It's not that you couldn't find some sect somewhere, some small society somewhere which practices it. I'm sure that that's the case, but by and large and overwhelmingly, it's not. With Islam, the opposite's true. By and large and overwhelmingly, they do. So we're basing this on a singular principle, which is Christian, and that's what I want a reputation for. Why is marrying your first cousin for the purpose of building low IQ societies better than not doing that?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Cooked. Guys, how many times has he asked him this question? What, 7, 8 times? No, sorry. Has he made this argument? And this guy has not refuted it. What, 8 times now? You know? Come on, man.
Again, it's not a causal relation. Islam doesn't mandate marrying
yes,
your cousin.
Does.
It's not like
yes, it does. You absolute dunderhead. Yes, it does. Look at this.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Look at this. Denial is not just a river in Egypt, ladies and gentlemen.
we're saying we want to keep IQ low, so marry your cousin. You keep getting the causal chain wrong about this. The second point that I want you to address is that when we look at IQ increasing, that is associated with more atheism. It is directly correlated with higher levels of atheism. The higher the IQ goes, the more people become atheists. This is a bad thing. I would assume that Christians would agree more atheism is a bad thing. I think that, yes, modern society is not all it's cracked up to be. I don't know if you guys have been looking around.
As he lives in this modern society, right? Guys, what are the odds that you think that he will never, ever immigrate to a majority Muslim country, right?
It's over 9,000!
But it seemed like I've felt, at least myself, that over the past 5 years especially, first with the pandemic and now everything that's happening in the world where World War III is about to break out, I think the modern world is a dystopia. I am waiting for, nuclear holocaust to destroy us all. I don't believe in this absolute value of modern society. And therefore, I don't agree with your premise that high IQ is something valuable in and of itself.
Is he addressing the argument, guys?
No.
Exactly. No, he's not.
There are many things to point out.
Yeah.
Being wrong or bad with high IQ. Again, I prefer to turn the clock back 200 years where Christians had these traditional Christian societies. Muslims had traditional Muslim societies. Yeah, you didn't have a laptop. You didn't have internet. You didn't have cars. But guess what? You didn't have to worry about your wife having to, being in college and sleeping with every frat boy in the university, and you don't even know her history because
he's trying to go back to the. He's trying to go back to the script. And what? You didn't know her history because she wasn't your cousin?
Yeah.
Feminism. You have like LGBT degeneracy. You have elderly who are being shipped off to old folks' homes because there's not a strong family unit to take care of our own elderly. Children are being shipped off to daycares because there's not a strong family, strong marriage, mom at home with traditional roles to take care of the children. I prefer the low IQ. I prefer the low technology society.
I feel bad for guys like him that are part of a religion. You have to grow a beard, and his just looks so terrible, right? You know what I'm saying? It looks like he just glued a bunch of pubic hair to his face. You know what I mean?
He glued pubes on his face.
Yeah.
Andrew, 90 seconds.
Can I just point this out? That none of those degenerate things that he just pointed out, which I agree with him, are the cause of IQ. I think you're having the problem with the causal link, sir. Let's point this out. And this is really important to point out. One more time, he didn't contend with the argument.
Exactly.
The argument is, how do you make a superior society which is better for society? And you know what? All you've done right now is just argue this. Literally, I'm Daniel Kikikachu, and I prefer a low IQ society. That's his argument. Now, look, I did not expect you to bite the bullet that you would have a preference for a low IQ society, and therefore we should continue to have sex with our family members to achieve said low IQ society. But over here on the Christian side, well, we're just not willing to do that. So here's what's really important here to remember as the argument structure goes on. Daniel is literally giving a prescription at this point. He's giving you an ought. We ought to have dumb fucking people. That is his ought. My ought is different. My ought is you being intelligent does not restrict you from Christianity or Christian ethics. And we look at the IQ differentials in Christian nations, and we can see firsthand that that is true.
Yep.
So the thing is these are not mutually exclusive claims.
And guys, I can't say the word, but Andrew had said self-deletion empathy, right? Suicidal empathy. That's what people like this Daniel guy, they rely on when they're trying to conquer the West with immigration from the East. Guys, the largest human migration since World War II has been from the Middle East and North Africa to Europe. And these knuckleheads in charge, these liberal woke morons have been letting it happen for 40 years. And guys, that's why TR, whose name that we shall not pronounce, but it rhymes with Ami Smobinson, right? He's been saying this for 15 years. I think it might not be the next 5 years, but in 10, 15 years, he's going to finally be known as the hero that he always has been. A working class Englishman that was trying to say, we have to get these people out of here. He's been deplatformed. He's been thrown in jail. He's had his family threatened. All this stuff, all because he's been saying the obvious. Some belief systems are incompatible with ours. That's just how it works. Clown world.
But there's also a second level to that. What a lot of these people fail to realize is that when you have immigration without assimilation, it's an invasion.
Yep, it's true. And when you have people, this is the thing that I don't get about left. And MM Clark, yes, you are correct. Yep. UK, France, Germany, colonized. Facts. This is a fact. And guys, I love how the liberals, the wokey wokes, the feminists, and the LDHD TVs, right? They're like, oh yeah, we're all for all these rights and stuff, LDHD TV rights and same-sex marriage, but they want to bring in people that are diametrically opposed to their worldview. Do you really think that people from Pakistan believe in all the same liberal woke ideas, but they support them? It makes no sense. And this is why, guys, ultimately, who votes to have these policies, guys? Men or women? Who?
Liberal women.
Thank you. Not us.
When he says higher IQ leads to secularism, I could just as easily say higher IQ leads to Christianity because all the Christians are way higher IQ.
That's true.
So the thing is like,
Gotcha.
Which of those moral values do you not prefer? Which of them? Which of these Christians don't want degeneracy? They're fighting against it as well.
Yep.
The only reason you've made these successful inroads is because your enemies are so stupid that you can conquer them. And anytime you've tried to conquer the technologically advanced West, you can only do it via immigration because you cannot collectivize to spare yourselves from the very nuclear war you're currently terrified of because your people groups are too stupid.
Over. Go ahead, Daniel.
How much time do we have, James, for this?
90
to the back.
Guys, just think of this. In the UK, if we were to have this conversation online, guys, all of us on this panel, we would hear. Guys, they would arrest us. Think about how insane that is. If we were to have this conversation that we're having right now, someone could call the UK police on us and get everyone on this panel arrested and thrown in jail. That's how hard that the UK government simps for people who are trying to destroy them.
For this back and forth, we have until it's about 30 more minutes.
Oh wow. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's hard. So that's a lot of time. You're getting cooked, right?
Yeah.
You ever see a guy in like an MMA fight or a boxing match? He's getting whooped and he keeps looking up at the clock. Evil says, if scientific beliefs are just a particular culture's pathology, how come we can cure smallpox and get to the moon and traditional cultures can't? Yes, facts. Thanks for the $10, my friend. Yeah.
You are scaring the hoes.
You guys, you know who always says this is these wokey wokes where they're like, oh, math is racist. Because mathematics is the universal language. Everywhere you go, 2 + 2 is 4. It doesn't matter. But they'll be like, oh, well, there's an ancient Nigerian way of counting sticks. And that's way better than this Western, way that we do math, even though the way that we interpret math gives us cell phones and nuclear power and jets and airplanes. There was these ancient civilizations who somehow knew more than us. When we can treat cancer, we cured hepatitis. You know what I'm saying? We have internet. What are you talking about?
30 more minutes.
Yeah, he's cooked. 30 more minutes. That is the sound of a defeated man.
Beta man. So, 30 more minutes of Andrew saying that Muslims are dumb. Okay, that's great.
Well,
I'll try to be more I'll try to be more substantive than that. So,
yeah. Well, he hasn't managed it so far.
Just listen to this. Okay. So let's get into we have enough time to actually get into the IQ science.
Guys, here's the thing. Clark has a point. She says that you can go to the UK and not hear a single person speaking, I want to say English, not British, right? Because, guys, there's a difference here. See, the UK has it 10 times worse. I'll tell you why. Guys, who are the indigenous peoples of England?
British people.
No, the English people are. There's a difference between English and British. Okay, British is a term for like Scots, Welsh, English all together. You have Black Brits, you have Welsh Brits. English is like, British is like how we say American, is a nationality. It's Britain, Great Britain. You know what I'm saying? But who's the indigenous peoples of Scotland?
Okay, I get your point. The Scottish people, yeah.
Who are the indigenous of Wales?
The Welsh.
The Welsh, thank you. So, guys, what's wrong with an English person saying, if you are in our country, that is England, we want you to speak English? It's the same as if a Japanese person says, if you are in our country, we want you to learn Japanese. It's the same thing. You cannot be expected to live in any Asian country, except maybe the Philippines, and not be expected to learn the language. The Europeans are the only ones who, for some reason, the liberal wokes will not allow them to be held to that standard. It makes me crazy. The English have the same right to national destiny as the Japanese, as the Chinese, as the Mongolians, as the Vietnamese, as the Thai. It's the same thing. If you go back 800, 900, 1,000 years ago, they're English people who live in England. So when they actually have a fear of replacement, it's legit. When they want to say that they want to have a right to self-determination, that is a legit concern. We don't have a national language here in America. So we can say that, hey, look, it would be nice if people speak English here. But England's national language and cultural and historical language is English. There is no excuse to live in England and not speak English. It makes no sense. So there's a different standard where people try and put our American standard in the UK, France, German. Europeans are not white. White is a term that we use because in America, we go by nationality first and then race second. Ethnicity doesn't matter here, right? All Germans, English, you're all white if you come here, just like Hispanics are all Hispanic. But when you get to Europe, it's your ethnicity. Germans are Germans, not white. They're Germans. English are English. Scots are Scots. Welsh are Welsh. So there's a different standard of when it comes to preserving their culture, their language, their history. And it's been completely flushed down the toilet by these knuckle-headed politicians. It doesn't, but guys, you know what? Hey, panel, cook with me here. Guys, you see this shift to the far right in Germany, France, right? Ireland. You guys have seen these stories, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, what does the saying go? Like, white people, hold on. No, it said the Europeans do something until they don't, and then they burn stuff down, or then they, what is it called? I think Anonymous had the term. He said like Europeans will grin and bear it until they don't, and then they blow up countries or whatever. I don't know. So, but yeah, guys, it's sad that like us American guys seem to care more about like the state of the UK and stuff than the people who live there. You know what I'm saying? Than some of the people, not all, but like it's sad that like we talk more in a pro-English, Scot, Welsh way than some of the knuckleheads who live there. And like M.M. Clark says, you can't even wave their own flag there without people going, "You're racist, clown world." There, if you put a British flag up, someone can call the cops on you. And there's a guy on TikTok, guys. He calls himself like Britannia or something or other, and he's very, very pro UK, pro English. And I used to call into his TikTok lives, and I would be just taking on all these wokey wokes with him. And they were like, "Well, you're American. You would know and about racism." I'm like, "I'm black." "Well, you're black and you support him?" I'm like, "Yes." I said, why would anyone in their right mind not support an ethnic group's right to survive? How is that a bad thing? You would never tell the Japanese that they don't have the right to self-determination. You would never tell Indonesians, Mexicans, right?
Try telling that to the tiny hat people.
Yeah, facts. That's a Colin. That is a good point. That is a very, very, very good point.
Ooh, look who won first prize tonight.
M.M. Clark, if you are British, or I'm sorry, English, and I'm assuming you are, I need you to start calling yourself an indigenous person. Because you're indigenous. If people in the UK talk to you crazy, I need you to start referring to yourself as an indigenous person and say that you want indigenous rights. I honestly believe that.
I like that.
Yeah, that if you switch the argument to that, it'll finally. I'm telling you, it's gonna take off. The indigenous UK people's movement. Because guys, all around the world, we talk about the Aborigines and the Native Americans and all this other stuff and how they got screwed over. Well, guys, guess what? You guys are getting screwed over in your country now. So I'm telling you, indigenous. Guys, doesn't that sound great? Like, what can the wokey woke say, right? They've always been to the plight of the indigenous peoples.
It'll twist their tiny brains into knots because they can't comprehend how can white people be indigenous.
Yeah. She says that's me, and we're endangered. Guys, anyone who wants to call in, guys, hit the StreamYard link and call on in, man, because I'd appreciate your input.
So first of all, Andrew, I'm not sure if you know this, but IQ is more highly correlated with race than it is with cousin marriage.
You've been had.
Who cares?
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
He
guys,
still
even
hasn't
hold on,
refuted or addressed.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Even if that is true, hey buddy, your Middle Eastern race has the lowest IQ. I think theirs are lower than people in like most of sub-Saharan Africa. So you're not making your argument. Cork, what were you saying?
He still will not refute or address any of Andrew's statements. He just constantly comes back to lower IQs are better.
Yeah.
You know, something else that I don't understand why people don't seem to remember this or realize or acknowledge this, but in the back in the days of, you know, old world European nobility and royalty, you know, does anybody know why all the royal and noble families had to start allowing, you know, basically the young hot peasant women to, you know, marry into the families?
Because they were inbreeding so much.
Exactly, because even 500, 600, 700 years ago, they all started realizing and understanding that, hey, wait a minute, if we're only making babies with our own families, they're all turning out.
Yeah. Or they have hemophilia and they'll trip and stub their toe and bleed out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So this is why the royal families, you know, the princes were allowed to, go to town and, you know, well, find that, you know, that young hottie, you know, the broad with the big buxom and the, you know, and the child rearing, you know, the child rearing hips and yeah.
Guys, you guys know the whole William of Orange story, right? When you know, when the one king tried to make Britain Catholic, and then William of Orange came. He was the king of the Netherlands. So the royal families were so intertwined that William of Orange had a claim to the throne. So he went to the UK, kicked out the other king, and then he was the king of the Netherlands and England at the same time. So King William of Orange. So he was king of both at the same time. Pretty crazy, right? So, did anyone see Train Spotting 2?
No.
Anyone? Oh yeah, maybe we'll have a movie night on Discord because it's one of the only movies where the sequel is almost as good as the first one. So
If you want to make this kind of IQ supremacist argument, then it will quickly become
an IQ supremacist argument.
Jesus, man. He's sounding like
some people are really fucking stupid.
And if you want to make that argument, just be very clear about it. Does Christianity, like your worldview, promote higher IQ races? And everyone being at the mercy of those higher IQ races? You keep making
all he says is don't bang your cousin and your people will get smart. That's it.
A might makes right argument.
And didn't he just say we're everywhere where there's, you look at Africa, the places where they're most Christian and they don't bang their cousins, the IQ's higher, you know?
That, oh, Muslims are at the mercy of us high IQ Christians. Okay, well then there are races that are higher IQ than others. So are the higher IQ races practicing benevolence by not wiping out the lower IQ races? That seems to be what your standard, what your morality actually entails pretty directly. So that, please address the race issue.
I'll give you a chance to respond, Andrew, but I do want to be sure that this doesn't veer off topic too far.
Yeah, so I mean, that's really simple to address. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if that's a correlate. You know what else is a correlate? Fucking your first cousin. That's a correlate. That's a massive correlate to lowering IQ. It wouldn't matter if it was inherent. Let's just say, for instance, that white people had higher IQs on average than the average Arab, right? Let's just say it for the sake of a hypothetical. It doesn't actually matter that much because we know one thing that's going to bring the IQ down: fucking your first cousin. So the thing is, since that is the case, and it's objectively the case, right, I can still make the prescriptor that your societies would be a lot better off if you had 85 to 100 skilled laborers, 100 to 115 IQ professionals, at least in middle management, at least. And you said it yourself, right now you're terrified of nuclear war. We are terrified of nuclear war all around the nation, right? All around Muslim nations. You're probably terrified of Zionists who are right in your own backyard. I get all of that, Daniel. But your people group aren't smart enough to defend themselves against these people. Christian nations are.
Guys, please no swearing, and please code your language in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Do the best you can.
Aren't enough to defend ourselves from people groups who want to wipe us out, like yours, right? So that's what's important here. The reason why you need to at least have an IQ that's above, I prefer lower IQ, 70 to 85. The reason you need that is because you need to be able to defend and protect yourself. You can't have these strong families he's talking about if you can't defend these strong families he's talking about. You can't have these great values that he's talking about if you can't defend your own people group, because you're at the technological mercy of another people group simply because you won't restrict a single behavior. That sort of rigidity has just...
And it's so funny that he says that these areas are so great when they use United States technology, Chinese technology, right? You know, they're Saudi oil billionaires. I don't see any Saudi cars companies, right? They all drive Lambos, Ferraris, BMWs, Corvettes, all that other stuff. Where is this? It just doesn't make any sense.
Destroyed these once great lands. He's right. They did have beautiful art. They did have beautiful culture. They had beautiful everything. And then Islam came along and allowed them to inbreed themselves into literal stupidity. So again, how do we not build these
guys? Who saw True Lies?
I did.
You guys remember when she's like 5th century Persian, pity, and then they wrecked the statues because they put the nukes in them. Isn't that the perfect example of what he's talking about?
Yep.
5th century Persian statues, and the Islamic dudes tore them up and broke them to pieces. Priceless statues, priceless art from a long dead culture, and they don't care because there's videos of them in Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, of these imams blowing up all this ancient art because they ancient art and in ruins and stuff because it's idolatry per their religion. You guys know how many guys, Mesopotamia that we all will learn about in school is in the Muslim world.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to have more access to it and actually see these things that we read about in ancient Babylon and all this other stuff. But now most of it's gone.
better cultures? I've refuted every argument you've had. All you do is make my argument for me.
Go to Daniel, 90 seconds.
Yes.
Cooked.
So then also the other factor, you didn't really address the race issue and the logic of your argument that we have to promote.
Because you keep bringing the race issue up, you dumb.
Is that have high IQ, or we have to accept that higher IQ races can dominate the lower IQ races. Guess what? You want to talk about Israelis dominating Palestinians because of low IQ. Guess what? Which race actually has a representative that controls every member of Congress, like a handler, like an AIPAC handler? What race are the AIPAC handlers that are controlling Congress? What race are they? Are they white, Christian?
What does this have to do with anything?
Actually, Andrew?
Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Yeah.
Because it seems like 300 million Christians can't take care of just maybe a handful, 10 million of that one particular race that has a death grip over your country. Maybe address that, Andrew, the elephant in the room, and then tell me about IQ. The other point that I want to make is that do I have to spell it out? Yes. Yeah, they're called Jews. They're called Jews, Andrew. It's called, there are only 10 million of them.
So now he's trying to completely pivot. He's trying to dive, duck, dive, and dodge, right? Come on.
10 million of them, but
they control your whole region.
They seem to have a lot of control. yeah, the thing about Israel is that they're able to dupe dumb Christians to support wars that are going to bankrupt America and cause America to really collapse, so that they will have wars in the Middle East killing Muslim brown people, because you Christians apparently, by your argument, Andrew, are too stupid to realize that they're being destroyed by this one particular group. Gee, that's really high. That's really brilliant, Andrew.
Completely off topic, but did you guys know that they can do gene therapy now to basically treat hemophilia?
Yeah.
They give you like an injection, and it adds that protein to your DNA, to your new
Yeah,
cell.
I think that's been around for a while.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Interesting.
So hemophilia, that's the condition where your blood doesn't clot. So
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
they're treating the red blood cells to give that protein. Okay.
That's
That's
so
been,
cool.
that's been around for a while. Yeah.
Wow. It slows it or stops the progression, and then all the newer cells start to learn how to clot. That's so cool, man. Interesting.
So
yeah, well, they definitely didn't invent that in friggin' Saudi Arabia, right?
Actually,
So
hang on, it's my turn.
I'm done.
Actually, it is really brilliant. Notice how Daniel is banking on the benevolence of Christians to save him from a higher IQ people group, just like I said he would. Banking on the higher IQ benevolence of the higher IQ people group to save him from another higher IQ people group. Isn't that wild? It's almost like I predicted everything you'd say before you said it, because I did.
Hey,
this
AJ,
is
can I
very
interrupt
simple,
you for a
right?
quick second?
Of course.
So this knucklehead with the hat on, he's talking about how a very small minority group of people are bankrupting America because we keep funding them and they keep pushing us into whatever wars and blah blah blah. Actually, no, it's as somebody who is very heavily invested in the stock market, I can tell you, and I'm doing quite well, mind you. I can tell you. It's the exact opposite. What happens is the reason that our government is pumping so much money into a small group of people to allow them and give them the resources to defend themselves is because most of that money comes back to us in the form of
weapons and them purchasing stuff from companies and contractors in the United States.
Exactly. Like no, if anything, I mean, we don't even need to start in on the banker jokes. If anything, that small minority of people, they're making all of us wealthier
Well, guys, anytime that there's you look at the whole ICE deportations thing, right? Because look at how much money that they allocated to ICE, and guys, all these contractors and everything that they're using now. Someone's making a lot of money doing this. And guys, once they do these civil asset forfeitures, right? Let's just say that like Korg is an illegal who's been here for 28 years, right? And he has that civil fine. Because remember, guys, you get caught, they see that you're illegal, and the president can choose to deport you or not. If they choose not to, you got to pay a fine. Oftentimes they'll does not pay the fine, and it just builds up more and more every year. There's people that have been here for like 20 years that have a $3 million fine.
Whoa!
So they catch you, right? They do the. Then they deport you, and then they seize your assets, your home, your bank accounts, your business, so you can pay off that fine. And the government says, hey, Collins Collections Inc., you get half and we get half.
Right?
That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. I'm sorry, but it is. Because usually people that use the government to do these things are not doing this unless they can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole illegal thing is a problem that needs to be solved, but the powers that be need to get their cut. They need to. You look at Dick Cheney and in the Iraq War. His homeboys made a lot of money off of that. So
his entire argument here that he's giving you right this second is, let's talk about how these higher IQ people groups are controlling you, the people I'm appealing to right now, to please stop them from dominating our entire region. 10 million against 1 billion. Dominated completely. And they have to appeal to somebody else to protect them because they don't have the requisite IQ or technology to protect themselves, and that's that. And that's why you have to have at least some sort of minimum IQ to have some sort of civilization, which can at least contribute to your own nations and people groups' protection. How could that be a worse standard? He wants to make it about race. He knows it's a red herring, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your race has the potentiality for, like, let's say 100 IQ. Let's just say that was the case. It was just stagnant at that for some reason. Then why would we want to reduce it below that? Why? That's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. So again, he makes my argument for me. Yes, he's appealing to the benevolency of Christians to save him and his people group. That should be the fucking, I wish you guys were smart enough to get it. If that was the case, that you understood this, right? That you're appealing to a smarter people group to save you from another people group. That's why you guys have to get your IQs collectively higher. And you just said you prefer lower IQ societies.
So this is Daniel.
I didn't appeal to anyone's benevolence. I just pointed out how you're being used, how you're being treated like low IQ donkeys by a higher IQ race. That was my point. Like, I know you want to avoid acknowledging the point that I made very clearly, but the audience does. The audience understood what I was saying about that. So no, it's not about benevolence of Christians. Muslims don't need the benevolence of Christians to protect us.
Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
At a thriving civilization. And if Christians...
Yeah, is that why every time that they've attacked that little place over there, they've lost every time? And then they have to do attacks on our soil to try and get us to stop that country from screwing them over in battle, from beating them up even more. Isn't it funny how that works, guys? Right?
Yeah.
They can't do their own dirty work over there.
Christians really want to win in this kind of argument, this kind of might makes right way. You're losing because of birth rates. Simple as. You're losing because Muslims are not only having more children, more people convert into Islam as opposed to leave it. Whereas with Christianity, there's a massive swell of apostasy, people leaving Christianity. For what religion? Partly Islam, but the much bigger proportion, they're converting to atheism. They're leaving Christianity.
What does that have
Why
to
is
do
that?
with
Why?
anything?
It's partly because of a secular education. So this is, maybe you need to appeal to the benevolence of the atheists, the Jews, these other non-Christians, because your religion is bleeding out. I showed the chart. In terms of religious switching from Pew. Instead of grandstanding and trying to puff out your chest, address these real problems. Because there's not going to be a Christianity in 100 years if trends continue. And part of it is because of IQ. Ironically, part of it is because of IQ, because higher IQ is associated with higher atheism. So yeah, you're going to have people who will enjoy electric cars, maybe even flying cars and AI, but they're not going to believe in God.
90 seconds, we'll switch it over.
What's really interesting here is just pointing out that, once again, he's making the same exact appeal. The appeal
AJ,
is,
I'm sorry.
we're not making an
interrupt
appeal.
again, dude.
We're not
I'm
making
sorry.
Of course, man. Yeah.
So this guy, so he is correct. A lot of people are, they're moving away from quote unquote organized religion, but what he's forgetting to mention is that all those people, including myself, and I would say even you yourself, AJ, and I don't know about Korg, I don't know about Seagrip, but we still lead our lives based upon a God damn it, why is that word escaping me? The fundamental moral belief system that was founded within the Christian values. So yes, okay, we're moving away from organized religion. So we're not doing the Sunday service anymore. But by and large, we're still leading and living our lives based upon those values.
And well, guys, I can tell you this. Guys, tell me right now in the chat and on this panel if you believe in objective morality. Yes or no?
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone in the chat, yes or no? Okay, guys, that in and itself is a religious based belief. Even if you aren't religious, guys. So, for instance, I think killing is wrong. Taking a life is wrong. There are times where it's necessary, but it's not moral to take a life.
Yeah.
Morality, legality, necessity are different things, but oftentimes legality is based on necessity. You know what I'm saying?
Basically,
So
like one of the simplest ways I've ever heard somebody say was that, I don't believe that's, that roughly 2,000 years ago, there was some dude who could walk on water. But you know what? I'm willing to believe that there was a good, decent, honest man who happened to be a carpenter that would go out of his way to lead a good, decent, honest life and treat other people the same way that he wanted to be treated.
Yeah, but I think that the people need to understand, guys, moral, like this subjective morality means that you could pretty much excuse any behavior because it's all subjective. Well, it depends, guys. There is no depends. Diddling kids is wrong. I don't care what anyone says. Well, what about their culture? Because it's a slippery slope to go down that rabbit hole of subjective morality. You know what I'm saying? And that's where this cultural relative, maps, all that craziness that you see on the left. It's absolutely insane. So
Islam has fantastic civilizations, as he's up here crying about how a nation of 10 million has enslaved all of them, according to him, right? How sophisticated can your civilization possibly be when 10 million people in the middle of a desert, right, are so technologically superior to the entirety of your civilization that even when your people groups have nuclear bombs, they don't feel threatened by it? This is a big problem. Again, this is not to talk about whether or not Jewish people are superior to Arab people, white people are superior to black people. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with one thing, which is the prompt. Which religion promotes a better society? Which religion produces better societies? And once again, I'm going to make this argument.
Christianity has created such good societies that it's made things so good that it's making itself decline. Think about how insane that is, right? Like Christianity's made societies that have had it so good that we're destroying ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like that has to be a pretty good society that it has nothing better to do but destroy itself,
It's pretty easy. If you think that people would have a preference, if you could ask them, which preference do you have? Do you have a preference to live in a society where 65% or more of the people are inbred? Or do you prefer to live in a society where that's not the case? And you're a Christian, I think you would answer yes. And I think if you were an honest Muslim, you'd answer yes too. And why? Well, it's because you still want medicine for your kids. You still want to be able to drive on roads. You still want to be able to have basic infrastructure, skilled laborers, professionals, things like this. And it's not that there's not many Muslims who are. There are. But there's not enough to meet the demand because they produce really stupid societies. And it's because of this reason. So it's like he just keeps on begging me to answer his questions about degeneracy, which has nothing to do with the debate. We're talking about which society is better.
Yeah, degeneracy has to do with society, bro. Degeneracy has a lot to do with society. It's like pretty much your entire platform talking about degeneracy ruining society.
What does his entire platform have to do with this one debate, guys? Guys, when you're this cooked, guys, just get up and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Society. So like the technology that the West has achieved, you're saying that, well, look at all these Muslims, the biomass is at the mercy of all these technologies, the fighter jets, the nuclear weapons, whatever. But that technological progress is victimizing all of us. We're all a victim. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, we all are facing this massive transhumanist behemoth, this hegemony. and it's threatening to destroy the human race. Do you see the interview that Peter Thiel did with the New York Times? And he's talking about like the Antichrist, and he's being asked by the interviewer, do you think the human race continuing is a good thing? And then Peter Thiel, he's this billionaire, actually paused for a second, and it took him a while to answer. And when he finally did answer, he said that, well, the human being in its current form, I don't know if that's something worth preserving, because they're transhumanists. They want to see a future where human beings are bionic, you have genetic engineering.
What does this have to do with anything? Because when you're this cooked, you have to go way out in the middle of nowhere and grasp at straws,
To actually have tailor-made babies based on people's...
It gets better when the Q&A starts.
Preferences. You have uploading the consciousness to the cloud with Neuralink, Elon Musk's Neuralink, all of these crazy technologies that are going to be imposed on us. Remember the whole thing, you will own nothing and you will be happy, get in the pod, eat the bugs. Remember,
but instead, he says you will know nothing and be happy because you're so stupid because you bang your cousins, right, guys?
This guy's basically trying to make the argument that resistance will be futile. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added. Dude, stop. Just
guys. Basically, it's come on.
Especially after COVID, that they're rolling out. That's because of technology. That's because of high IQ people like Yuval Harari, this Jewish genius who is telling, hey, you don't need to own anything to be happy. We're just going to give you porn and we're going to give you drugs and you're going to live in the pod, and that's going to be the future. That affects all of us. So it's not just Muslims who are the victims of this technological future. We are all victims of that dystopia.
Let us point out here that this is very important again, that everywhere Islam goes, regardless of the people group, the IQ goes down because of this. Let us also point out that that's not racial. That's every group. Every group that goes into anything to do with Islam, you end up with the IQ collectively lowering due to inbreeding. In order to oppose these very same technologies that he's proposing, transhumanism, things like that, you have to be able to make structured arguments, have reason. You have to be able to actually engage with these people. And if you can't do that, if it's the case that they have such a technocracy full of phaser guns, you got no fucking chance anyway.
Yeah.
You have to at least have a high enough IQ to protect your people group from the very people you are claiming right now have a technological edge, which is Star Trek compared to the Apollo 13. So if that's the case, he still hasn't told you how having a low IQ is actually going to demonstratably help their people group at all oppose these types of technologies when the very secularists they claim are just gaining an IQ, because us dumb Christians, we just can't help it. We become secularists the second we get too smart, right? That's a big problem for them again.
Yep,
they would still need to value IQ being raised just enough to protect their people group, even if it was the case that Christians became secularists, even if that was the case. So always his argument goes back to low IQ equals benevolency of other people group, because you can't defend your people groups. You can't defend your peoples. You can't do it. We have an ocean between us, and only one of us is capable of attacking the other. And that's because of the massive distinction in technological prowess and organizational skills, which you're going to find with intelligence. And it's not a thing which is...
He's right, guys. He's right. Only one of us has to resort to friggin', attacking civilians with bombs and stuff like they do, instead of being able to actually send planes and tanks and stuff over here, using cells of people that they smuggle in here to do their dirty work.
Valued by Islam by his own admission. How could we not have better societies based on that? How?
Switch over. Again, the benevolence argument. The only reason that you, Andrew, are able to have a platform on YouTube is that the benevolence of a bunch of atheist, God-hating secularists. That's the only reason you have a platform. They could ban you tomorrow. They say, yeah, this guy is flying too close to the sun. He's a little bit too hateful, and they ban you. Your entire ministry, your entire outreach is based on the benevolence of these God-hating atheists.
What does that have to do with the argument? Guys, let's skip ahead. This guy's an idiot.
So at the mercy of hating atheists, people like Elon Musk, people like Peter Thiel. This is a problem for everyone who believes in God, not just Muslims. And I want everyone to recognize this fact. If IQ is the end all be all, the way to maximize IQ is transhumanism. It's to actually genetically engineer human beings to have higher IQ because IQ has a genetic basis, right? So the number one way to raise IQ is through genetic engineering, transhumanism.
What does this have to do?
Tomorrow, if Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and the people who are controlling Christian countries and the globe really, if they say that, hey, we're going to eliminate Christianity because actually it leads to lower IQ and we have to adopt atheism, and they mandate that, and anyone who says that they believe in God or believe in Jesus is actually a radical terrorist who's spreading hate, and the Bible is full of hate and we have to ban this in order to reach our utopia. Okay, that's going to happen at the hands of atheists. So Christians are also at the mercy of the same kind of IQ fetishists who want to transform the human race. Wake up, Andrew, wake up. Stop this stupid argument.
If I ask you one question, I'll yield my time to you, and you can ask me one. Are you willing to answer it? How is it, Daniel, and I'll yield my time to you, that even if it's true that right now YouTube and these oligarchs can deplatform me tomorrow, and that is true, that me having a lower IQ is going to be somehow help me in that situation? That's my question. How is it that having lower collective IQs would help us against transhumanists, Daniel?
So the answer.
He's cooked. Guys, this has to be one of the worst ass kickings I've ever seen in any debate, man. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
The answer to my question has been this whole time that there are other values. So yeah, I might be stupid. I might be lower IQ than someone else, but I enjoy my life in other ways. I find value in.
Dude, he carries what's it called? Book bags with freaking grilled cheese sandwiches. You guys, we all have that tard kid in our class. You know, do you guys ever have that one Down syndrome kid in your class, guys?
The Downy.
And guys, there was this kid in our neighborhood, and he used to ride his bike up and down the street, and then he would go all the way up this huge long driveway that was really long, and then ride down and like try and jump this curb thing. And one day, I don't know if he got clipped by a car, or if he just flew over his handlebars, but there was an ambulance, you know. And then another time, he like broke into the neighbor's house and took a dump on their carpet. It was weird. It was weird. But yeah, he used to ride his bike up and down, and then he would sneak out of the house at night, and because he liked riding his bike, so he'd be riding his bike at like 2:00 in the morning up and down, and you see his parents. Have you seen where our son went? And you see her, yay, in the distance as he's riding.
That is the answer to your question. To worshiping God, going and spending time with my family, having a wife who loves me. I don't have to worry about her cheating on me or having this long history at college or whatever. Having children that actually respect me and who will take care of me in my old age.
How does a high IQ preclude you from that?
Because it leads to atheism.
No, so
it's correlated
I mean?
with atheism.
So here, let me show you the circle. Hang on, let me just show you the circular argument.
I'm making an independent argument.
Yeah,
for
I know,
why
but let me show you the circularity.
These values are important.
Can I show you the circularity here?
Okay,
So your circularity of your argument is like this: having a lower IQ for me somehow means what? That I'm going to suddenly have better ethics? I'm going to suddenly be a better person? I'm going to suddenly be more benevolent?
Yeah,
you
there's a
haven't,
correlation,
hang on. You haven't demonstrated that that's the case. And by the way, I would argue, in fact, Christian ethics are so overwhelmingly good that secularists who have no ethical system borrow ours.
Yeah.
And so the thing is like, look, ultimately, you haven't made an argument. The circularity of your argument is just this. Look, you need to have a lower IQ. Well, how does that help our people group defend itself if we do? Well, it doesn't, but there's other values more important. Okay, does a higher IQ preclude you from that? Answer, no. No. So that's the problem with the circularity, dude, that I'd actually like an answer to. And then to be fair, because this wasn't a back and forth, I'm willing to answer yours directly too.
Well, excuse me, sorry. Can I get water, James, actually?
Yeah, because you're getting
really,
cooked.
My throat is pretty dry here. So there is like a negative correlation between IQ and religiosity. There is a negative correlation with IQ because as you get higher IQ, you can go read Jonathan Haidt, for example. You can read Joseph Heinrich, for example. And in their books, they point to how higher IQ is correlated with more liberalization, more secularization, more atheism, more, freedom for
He's been saying the same thing for the last like 25 minutes, guys.
all, which causes the kind of degeneracy that you and I speak out against. So there is actually a bad consequence to a population with higher IQ because you'll get more atheism. So that's one problem that you can point out. And I'm just saying that, look, let's not be IQ fetishists. Even if you think cousin marriage is degenerate, disgusting, you're fine. But still, higher IQ does not correlate with better societies. It's leading to a problem that is unsolvable. Okay, this is a problem of higher and higher technologies that's going to cause us to live in a dystopia, a transhumanist dystopia. That is a problem for everyone. It's not like an own against the Muslims. It's an own against the human race. Peter Thiel, with his ugly, smug face, is laughing at us, at Christians, at Muslims. They're laughing because
true that IQ can have correlates to atheism, but we were talking about societies reverting to the IQ mean, the mean. The mean IQ of the societies you produce, sir, are between 1 to 2 standard deviations lower than the average Christian nation.
That means they're all
the mean.
Forrest Gump.
Now, there is no correlate that Daniel will be able to show you that having average IQs leads to secularism. It doesn't. It doesn't. Show me the correlate if that's the case. You can't. And the average IQs in these nations, which is just between 100 to 115 professionals, middle management, it doesn't preclude them at all. Or does it force them to secularism at all?
So basically, he's saying that in places like Guatemala, Honduras, right, that might be the average mean IQ is at that 100, 115. They're super religious, right? But they're more industrialized. They're better societies. And that doesn't make them go towards atheism. So what is he talking about? They're just as religious, right? But they don't bang their cousins because they're Christians, which means they have a higher IQ, right? Simple.
We're talking about the means of society. The mean IQ of 2 standard deviations lower in many cases precludes you from having any sort of civilization, really. It really does. Just basic infrastructure and things like this. So Daniel would need to show you how having a 100 IQ, an average IQ, is going to lead everybody to secularism because societies revert to the mean. It doesn't. It doesn't lead to secularism. It's a lie. You have to have these higher IQs, much higher. Otherwise demonstrate it. And if he can, even let's just say he could somehow, then his prescription is actually just that he wants to keep the world at 70 IQ. That's crazy. There is nothing which precludes Christian ethics from people groups that have average IQs or even above average IQs. And there's plenty of smart people, by the way, who are Christians. Now, to kind of hone in on that argument, just remember this. Secularists, these really high IQ secularists, they've never been able to find a system of ethics ever that's better than Christianity, which is why they adopt it. So just pointing that out.
We're going to give Daniel the last 90-second response. Then we're going to jump into the deviations. Hey, folks. All right. Thank you very much. Here we go. I'm just teasing Sean. Sean's the man. Come on up here. And then I do want to remind you, folks, is that we'd like to keep the questions on the topic. So we don't want questions that are going to be personal attacks or even things that are off topic, trying to just get under people's skin. The debaters work their asses off. We really do appreciate them. So want to give them the proper respect. We'll have the first question be from Rachel Wilson. Wait, one last thing. Oh, is that none of this, I have 2 questions business. We only do 1 question at a time, and I got to hold it just to be sure nobody tries any filibustering.
All right. So my question for Daniel is, I don't know if you're aware, you kind of gave the game away where you kind of stated that the Muslim plan is to infiltrate Western countries and kind of outbreed us, right? If you can't beat them, outbreed them. But I don't know if you're aware of the fact that when Muslims emigrate to Western nations, they still marry their cousins at about the same rate, but within 1 to 2 generations, their birth rate is just about on par with all of us in the West. So how's that going to turn out for you guys, do you think?
I think you're referring to like another debate. It's another debate that I had with a white nationalist. And the white nationalist...
See? There it is, guys. Oh, that's another debate that I had with a white nationalist insinuating that, like, what? What are you trying to say about her? Guys, this guy is so disingenuous. He's such a moron, right? What an absolute dunderhead, yeah? Guys, this is a thing that, like, I think Muslims do, just like these pro-blacks. I'm blackity black, we're black, y'all. Everything is racist or sexist, right? You know? And this is why I'm glad that you white people are just, like, not having it anymore, guys. You're just not. Guys, you cannot let people bully you by using these stupid terms that to them don't mean anything. You know?
Yeah.
Come on. I had this same debate with the white nationalist. Please. Rock and Diesel. Hey, man, how you been?
This was kind of making this might makes right argument as well, that the white nations are going to dominate the Muslim nations. And I said, look, if might makes right, then you don't have...
That's not what she said. She said, when you guys move to our countries, you guys stop having kids.
Yeah.
If you infiltrate and dominate our countries, it doesn't matter because you're not going to dominate because you guys don't have as many kids. What's the point?
Have really a kind of moral argument against immigration. The Muslims who are immigrating can also make a might makes right that, okay, fine, if you are going to use all your weapons against us, Muslims, well, we're going to use birth rates against you. So it was really a response. Like, I don't want to have war with the world. I don't want to have infiltration to take, but if that's the standard that we're going to have for everyone, like, okay, whoever's the strongest, if you're not strong enough, we're going to genocide you. Okay, if that's the standard that we're operating under, then Muslims are going to have to try to survive like any other peoples would.
So my question's actually for Andrew, but I would like to hear your response as well, Daniel. Andrew, I'm sure you're familiar, but we have this tradition in the West where the man typically goes to the father and asks for the daughter's hand in marriage.
Yeah.
If your nephew came up to you asking this, would you permit it?
That's a good question for that Daniel guy.
Oh, man.
Yo, let's see how he answers this. Guys, look at this guy in the background. Look. Watch.
Man typically goes to the father and asks for the
look at this guy. Watch.
Daughter's hand in marriage. If your nephew came up to you asking this, would you permit it?
This guy right here is all of us. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this.
No.
Daniel?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Your nephew, can you repeat that?
So
you heard the question. Beta. Oh, I hate when people do that just to stall. Come on, you heard the question, you dunderhead. Get out of here with that mess.
This tradition in the West where the man who wants to marry a lady goes to the father asking for the daughter's hand in marriage. So if your nephew came to you with this request, would you permit it?
Yeah, I'd consider it. Yeah.
Whoa! Look at that! Sister Mary Frances, guys, look at that.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Look at that, guys. And these are the people that the wokey wokes in Europe want to let into their countries en masse.
Yeah.
These are the people who they think, well, they're making our societies better. Diversity is all strength. Please, come on.
You've been had.
considered depending on qualities I'd have. Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, this is something Jesus, if Jesus was also like the church fathers living,
Folks, I
at
do
the
want to
early
ask, hold on,
centuries.
folks. I do want to ask, just so the other people that are listening to the speaker can hear. I just want to ask if you could keep the conversations down to a minimum.
Yeah, so as I was saying, like in the early periods of Christianity, if some Christian father was asked, "Can I marry your daughter?" A nephew comes and asks, he would also say yes. It was only later in Christian history that that was considered to be incest and was outlawed. And actually,
Exactly. This is what I pointed out like an hour ago.
Yes. Yes. And that's why areas that are majority Christian aren't dunderheads like over there. Andrew said it the best. You bang your cousins, your IQ goes down. So he's proving Andrew's point.
what the outlaw of cousin marriage didn't extend just to first cousins. Like, I don't know if you realize this. It extended to second, third, fourth, all the way to seventh cousin. That's how much the church, for some reason, decided and decreed that we don't want any kind of cousin marriage. But that had a big impact on the size of like the average family size. It had a big impact on religiosity and all kinds of other factors. I highly recommend you read the book of Joseph Heinrich, who has a thick volume talking about this. He actually makes an argument that cousin marriage is associated with the rise, like banning cousin.
Guys, look.
Law of cousin marriage didn't extend just to first cousins. Like, I don't know if you realize this. It extended to second, third, fourth, all the way to seventh cousin. That's how much the church, for some reason, decided and decreed that we don't want any kind of cousin marriage. But that had a big impact on the size of like the average family size. It had a big impact on religiosity and all kinds of other factors. I highly recommend you read the book of Joseph Heinrich, who has a thick volume talking about this. He actually makes an argument.
Look at Jim Bob in the background. Colin, you guys know who Jim Bob is? He's another debater. He's a Christian debater. He's been on the whatever podcast and stuff. Guys, look at Jim Bob's head's gonna explode. This guy's been giving Jim Bob a migraine. Look at that. Oh no, look at that.
That cousin marriage is associated with the rise, like banning cousin marriage is associated with the rise of technology and IQ. So it's right along.
That's just what Andrew Wilson said this entire time.
Right up Andrew's alley, but this is not necessarily a good thing for the reasons that I explained. Ready for you.
This one's for Daniel. Andrew has established that at the beginning of the debate.
Hey guys, I need you to hear me and hear me good, right? Let me pump the brakes, okay? Let me pump the brakes. Guys, please exercise. Please take care of yourself. Do not end up looking like this guy right here. This guy, I'm dead ass. Like no offense to whoever you are, dude, but look at this guy. Guys, please watch what you eat. Don't smoke. Don't drink too much exercise. Drink water. Actually, like cut your hair and beard to where it looks somewhat manageable. Because what is this right here? I don't understand, because I'm not some fashionista. You know what I'm saying? Because I at least, okay, Colin, secret. Have I ever told you that my dad always said that that people will do maintenance on their cars and their house, but for some reason won't do maintenance on themselves?
Oh,
Isn't that a strange concept, right?
Yeah, I'm working very hard because I'm guilty of it myself, and it takes a lot of effort. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that, guys. There's no excuse,
dude,
to look like this guy. Especially when he's standing there. This guy here, he's in pretty good shape. The guy next to him, he's not some Herculean athlete, but you could tell that he works out. He keeps himself in shape, and no one's asking you to be freaking Fashion Nova.
Yeah. This dude over here.
This isn't you, is it? I hope it's not, dude.
Now, this guy over
I
here.
I don't think it is. But guys, what I'm saying, guys, is like this. Guys can only have 2 fights. I mean, two struggles. You can't be fat and broke. You can't be okay. You can't okay. Preferably, you want one struggle, right? You can be broke, but you can be in shape and have a personality and dress well, right? But you can't be fat, ugly, out of shape, and broke. You just can't, guys, and have no personality. You just can't. Not even just for women, for professional success. Because this guy cannot go into any meaningful workplace and expect to get promoted, to have business deals done with him. Why would you? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know his personality. Maybe he's like a stand-up comedian. It's part of his act. I hope to God, right? Because please, and I'm not some fitness guru, but guys, I've been working out since I was in my teenage years, and there are times in my adult life where I let myself go a little bit for myself, where I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, I've gotten fat for me. People go, oh, AJ, you aren't fat, but to me, I'm like, I had to lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? Get in shape, because I'll work out, I'll lift heavy, and then eat more. But guys, please, if you're gonna grow a beard, style it. If you're gonna have hair, style it. The whole fit he has here, if he was smaller, fine. But what is he doing?
Yeah, this guy's got bigger titties than a couple of bras I banged.
Hey guys, it's not just women, it's men. Guys, imagine you're some high-priced lawyer or here. Imagine, Colin, that you go to like a financial planner or someone who's going to handle your money, and they walk up to you looking like this.
I'm going to turn around and walk right out of there.
Yeah. And guys, you don't even really need to dress that well if you're in decent shape, Please, guys, please, for all that is holy, guys, exercise. Go to the gym. Get some kettlebells for your house. Guys, there's so much gym equipment that you can do from home. You can work out and get in great shape with, So
chain to lower IQ is inbreeding. Now, the inductive case is going to be Islam both allows and often promotes inbreeding that's causing lower IQ. What in Christianity is causing them to be a lower IQ so that we can compare these two?
Well, one example that I gave in the debate is interracial marriage. So interracial marriage can also contribute to lower IQ. If anything that lowers IQ is something that's bad, then Christians and Andrew should be against interracial marriage as well. That's one example. He didn't really respond to that, but that's another thing highly associated with lower IQ. Also, education. Secular education is associated with higher IQ. Religious education is correlated with lower IQ. So you'd also have to insist that people go to secular education instead of religious education if your only priority or your main priority was increasing the IQ within society.
Well, but that's not the main priority, right? The idea is the idea is not that this is the main priority. The idea instead is which one makes for better societies, and we can point to a correlate for why their societies are not better. He keeps on strawmanning the position and saying, this is the only thing you care about. It's not.
My question is for you, Daniel. Using and maintaining AI requires a massive energy source. and infrastructure in order to be used. If Muslims plan to use AI to make up for your retarded nations, how do you plan to implement the infrastructure and build the necessary power to use AI when you can't even build your own technology? You buy it from middle management nations.
He's
and
right.
By middle management nations, in this case, I mean, you might not understand, I mean high IQ nations.
Here, let me.
Suit. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Look at that, guys. Look at that. Guys, look at that. Who is that guy?
City boy!
Cooked. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. You know, we appreciate that. Hit it, guys. Hit the join button from a membership. You know, those always help.
Let me paint you a picture there. So you have your high IQ nations, and they have the AI, and they have their power sources, and you have the Neuralink, and everyone is plugged into the cloud, and you're like plugged into the
What's the question he asked him, guys? He asked him, how are you going to maintain the infrastructure and the power plants? What does this have to do with Neuralink and all this? He's asking in the most basic sense. If you guys are so dumb that you can't maintain, this is the same argument that we make against women, right, guys? If you Thanos snap all of us men away, they would be unable to keep society going. If you Thanos snapped all the Western countries away, these thunderheads would not be able to maintain the world as it is.
Right. Basically, the guy asking the question, just to boil it down to the most simple term, or the simplest of ways, is he basically asked, so you're going to go buy a car, but you have no gas to put into it. So how are you going to drive the car?
Yeah.
I mean, am I?
Wait, say again.
So the guy who asked the question to kind of dumb down and put it into the most simplest of terms, he essentially basically asked, hey, you're going to go buy a car, but you have no gas to put into the car. So how are you going to drive the car?
Yeah.
I mean, am I the one who's retarded here?
Yeah. Because it's basically, I don't know. This is when you're so far down the rabbit hole of an ideology like this idiot, you just can't. He can't concede. He can't, even though he knows he's wrong because of his audience.
Masturbation machine with your nonstop virtual AI porn that you're addicted to, and that dopamine is surging. You're in a constant state of euphoria. And then guess what? The Muslims, the low IQ idiot Muslims that have been living in the desert with their donkeys, they're going to come and they're going to slaughter all of these people hooked up to the masturbation machine. They won't even be able to stand on their two legs because their legs have atrophied to such an extent that they can't even walk. That's the future of the West. That's the future of the high IQ. The horde, the biomass of Muslims are going to come with their swords because they don't have the high IQ necessary to actually develop guns and manufacture them en masse. They're going to come and slaughter all of the high IQ geniuses. That's the kind of future, right?
What are you talking about?
I think there's one clarification.
Clarification. So I wasn't talking about like how we get to, where AI is or what you're planning to do with it. You said you were going to implement AI to combat. So how are you going to utilize or build these infrastructures for the AI? That was my question. If you don't know how to.
Yeah.
No, the point.
So in other words, you just talked for how long? He didn't answer my question, you absolute bozo. Look at that.
Stupid. The point was that you can have nations that give access to Muslims that are not aligned with the West. So China, for example, has its own IQ or AI facilities that they can provide, and as a way to battle.
Can you imagine just arguing for an existence to where your country just can't take care of itself? To just have to rely on other people? Insane.
Western hegemony, and you have contracts that exist between China and these Muslim countries for energy. Like, where is China getting its energy? It's not mainly coming from mainland China. They're getting it from the Middle East, from Muslim countries.
Okay, so there is a quid pro quo economic agreement to give access to those technologies to Muslim nations.
Hi. So unfortunately for you, I am the Andrew Wilson of AI debates. And here I am before you asking you this very simple question. Since you like AI and you know about Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and Neuralink, you surely know that AI is a prerequisite to transhumanism. So here you are promoting AI as an IQ equalizer, which, by the way, looking at the charts of IQ that AI has as it has been tested, in the last 20 years has outperformed Muslim countries for the last 1,400 years. Carrying on, as AI gets better, there's going to come a point where, say, AI decides that your countries don't need to exist anymore. It can take over your energy. Can you give me the list of names of the donkeys you would use to fight this transhumanist AI?
Savage! Whoa, 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 whoa! Yo, guys, look at that!
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Holy moly, look at that! Guys!
Bomba!
Look at that! Holy moly, guys, he's cooked. He's cooked. He's cooked. Guys, this is one of the worst ass kickings I've ever seen in any debate ever.
Look at this guy. Like, did people see you?
Look, he walked away. He literally like, here, I don't need you to hold the mic because it's basically dropped already. Cooked! Cooked!
All of these dysgenic people come to the debates, James, and the guy is like not even 100 pounds, and he's talking.
What does that have to do with?
Big, as if like this is some like great point that he's made.
You were the one that argued for AI, you dunce. Guys, why are they so stupid? Why?
Great point that he's made about AI. AI is going to wipe you out. The entire point.
Yeah, because guys, think of this, right? Colin Secret. Here we go. You guys, anyone who wants to call and just hit the StreamYard link. What's the main export of the Middle East? Is energy, right? It's fuel. Yeah. It's oil. What happens if AI or all these things? Let's just say that they find a better energy source. What happens?
The Middle East will become obsolete.
Exactly. They've had a captive audience for the last, was it 120 years? 100 years odd, right? Yeah. What if something happens? There's a bell that's rang by AI that says there's a plan where we can all go to some different type of energy. And it's cheaper to use, it doesn't pollute as much, even by a factor of like 5 to 10%, right? Or how about this, guys? Most of the a good chunk of the oil that comes from the Middle East goes towards plastics. Yeah. What if we find something different than plastics? They're cooked. All that oil is just all they are is a useless desert. That's it. That's it. They're cooked. Look at that.
1 second.
I know that you're upset.
We have to hold on 1 second. We just all right. The questioner jabbed, so Daniel's gonna jab a little back. We got to give him a chance to speak, though. We have to
can't handle it, James.
Yeah, but at least be clever. You're only 100 pounds.
They can't handle me to mock them. Okay, so that again, as I mentioned, the kind of technology that's being developed is going to destroy all of humanity, not just Muslims. I know you have a fetish for seeing brown people being exterminated.
Okay,
maybe
please.
I don't know. It looked like you were pretty excited there about other people being exterminated. But the wider point was that technology is also going to come for you. Maybe not you. Maybe you're in bed with the Peter Thiels of the world. But for the rest of normal people around us, they hate people like you. They view you as these transhumanists who only care about progress at the cost of
so full
human
of it, guys.
life. So you're actually hated by the vast majority of human beings in the world, including Christians.
We have to wrap up due to we have had a fantastic debate. So
this guy got
before I go on with any
annihilated.
housekeeping stuff, I want to say please give me
no thanks, guys. Here, I want to show you guys this. Right, this sums up what I said about being English versus being British. Here we go, guys.
Months there's been a little bit of an online debate about what it is to be English. I'm very clear about my identity, my ethnicity, and my nationality. I would consider myself to be British Asian. I was born in England. I've been schooled in England. I love England. I support the England football team. But I would never describe myself as English. To me, there is something precious about that element of identity. And Englishness is something to do with heritage. It's something to do with ancestry. It's something to do with ethnicity, dare I say. My parents were not born in England. My grandparents were not born in England. And for that reason, I would never consider myself to be English. I think there needs to...
Funny how that's a concept, right? How the English are not allowed to say this. The French are not allowed to say this, but everyone else is. Japanese are, Mongolians are, Chinese are, Vietnamese are, Cambodians, Thai, Indonesians, right?
Yeah.
And yet the English, where English is their ethnicity, they've been English in England for thousands of years. English is their language that they speak. Other people might speak it, but English comes from England, guys.
And this is how bizarro. And this is how bizarro the world is. Because even in this country and over there, where foreigners, immigrants, or what do you want to call them, have more rights and protections than
the citizens,
native born.
Yep. Guys, once again, we don't have a national language here in the United States. We don't, guys. And anyone can come here legally, get their citizenship, and be American. Just like anyone can go to Britain and get their British citizenship, but they're not English.
Yeah.
That would be like saying that you go to someone immigrates here and then tries to call themselves Amish. You're not Amish. You're not. If you go to England and you're anything other than an English person, you are not English. And this is not a bad thing. This isn't race. This is an ethnic thing. That's all it is.
To be a lineage that connects me to the English people, which isn't there. So I don't see that as a bad thing. It's just that I'm different. So I am British Asian. I'm proud to be British. I have a British passport, and my nationality is proudly British. But I also recognize my Asian heritage. My mum is from Mauritius. My dad is from Kenya. They grew up under the British Empire, actually. But they've given me a different aspect to my identity. And I think what divides people on this debate is how conservative, I guess, you want to be about it. I take quite a deferential view of ethnicity and nationality, of Englishness. I do think you need a bit more than a geographical location to call yourself English. Just because I was born here doesn't make me English. Likewise, if I had been born in Italy, I don't think I'd be able to call myself Italian.
Ding, 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 right? Like, how hard is this to understand? 2 + 2 is 4. You know what I mean? Guys, Sigib and I, we are Black Americans. We can't go to Ethiopia and go, duh, guess what? We're Ethiopian. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
They're ethnically different than we are.
And actually, according to other countries' laws, that is the case. In recent months, there's been a little...
Guys. Right, and then here's another one here. Where's this clown that I watched earlier? Where this guy's like, you hit the genetic lottery.
You've already won.
Look at this. Look at this. Colin, here you go. Here you go. All you white guys in the chat. This guy right here is the reason why Europe is cooked, right? Watch.
Greatest lottery of life. And Wolf, aged 8 at the time, said, "Oh, you mean I was born a privileged white male in England?" And I said, "Yeah, it's exactly what I mean." And that's true.
I don't think it is.
Oh, I think it's totally true.
I don't think it is.
Which school did you go to?
You can ask this question of the Muslims who went to the same school as me,
right?
And then the black people who went to the same school as me.
Yeah, but in my Radley, when I went there was one non-white person.
Okay, I went to Merchant Taylors, which is now mostly Muslim.
Okay, so that's because they're charged.
Are they now privileged? Are they privileged? Well, yeah, because
they're very privileged.
Because they charge so much money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Muslims, like a lot of Jews, like a lot of Indians, like a lot of Chinese people, have done really well and have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so this idea of race,
but that's not the majority. It really isn't.
No, but it's not the majority of white people either.
Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Guys, look at the northern part of England, outside of London, like in Liverpool and like the northern areas. Guys, the people who have the worst outcomes in the UK are English, Scots, Welsh, and Irish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at that. Omni, no, the average Saudi citizen who lives out in the middle of the desert, guys, there's more people who live outside of Abu Dhabi than there are who live in. The average Saudi citizen. I mean, have you seen how the average Saudi citizen lives? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. We look at the cities, you know, but there. He says when sent to the UK. Okay.
How many white people get to go to Merchant Taylors?
No, I understand, but you and I are privileged.
We are privileged. I agree with that. And nothing to do with skin color. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. And in Japan, it would be the same. You wouldn't go to. Imagine going to Japan. And I lived there. I lived in Argentina. I have so much respect for them.
Do you know what's so? I totally disagree with you on that. If I go around the world doing my thing, the fact that I'm a white male, a monstrous advantage. The fact.
In Japan? No. In China? No. In Mongolia? No. What are you talking about? In these homogeneous areas in Asia and Africa? No. What are you talking about? Creepy, yes. That's in the cities, though, bro. Think about it. The majority of Saudi Arabia, the urban areas are nice, but the people who live outside of those areas live in like not very good conditions, bro. You know,
even the fact I'm British, monstrous advantage.
Look at
the
that.
fact I've got an American passport too, even more.
Well, the Japanese in particular are quite nationalistic. The South Koreans are very nationalistic.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to easily get that kind of job at like an institution like Harvard or Oxford. There, they would make sure actually that it's Japanese people. So I think
that's
when you
possible.
look at,
so they're bad too.
But is that bad, or is it a case of I don't know how many jobs I'd be getting in the Middle East being a Jew? I think
you're right. I think that's very sad. I am not a big fan of nationalism. I think, there's going to be, you're going to tell me as part of the world and we're going to have to live with it. No, we don't.
Well, you get it on the left and the right nationalism. I mean, in Argentina, it's the left who are very nationalistic.
And I'm not.
I stand corrected because it actually looks like a good chunk of the population did migrate into the cities. Okay, so I stand corrected.
Saying it's one thing or the other. I just think overall wars tend to be fought over stupid shit like that. You've already won.
That, guys. Hey, Colin, you're a privileged white man. I mean, Colin, tell us the truth, right? We all know that when you wake up in the morning and you take a morning dump, you get off the toilet and there's a gold bar in there. I mean, we have you white dudes all figured out, man. Hey, guys. Secret. Colin.
What's up?
Postal worker accused of stabbing man asking for his mail. What do you think this person looks like?
I already know. I don't want to say.
Streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
Guys, We don't do the whole white privilege thing over here. You cannot tell me that, guys. All of us men in the West have to eat shit, okay? And these people that are sitting there going, well, Colin has it better or Steve has it better. They're losers. Guys, you don't know what another person's journey is. Now, I do believe in majority privilege, right? We live in a country where the majority of people just happen to be white. And just like how in Nigeria, the Nigerians have some privileges, or in China, the Chinese, but that's universal. It has nothing to do with skin color or culture, you know?
Exclusive. And we begin tonight with a News 12 exclusive. A senior citizen stabbed by a postal worker. And it's not the first time police say this employee attacked a person while on the job. News 12's Nadia Galindo spoke with the latest victim and has more.
Go ahead, keep talking.
An argument turns into a violent stabbing in Flatbush.
I can't believe it that she would stab me. And
67-year-old Louis Lamboy says he was attacked at 1900 Albemarle Road after asking a simple question.
I just asked her for the mail. She was very rude. She was nasty, and she started cursing. And I said, all right, I'm going to record you. You're ridiculous. You're like a child.
For several minutes, he goes back and forth with the U.S. postal worker, now identified as 35-year-old Jessica Griffin, until she heads for the door.
Slapped the phone out of my hand, and then I went to pick it up, and she grabbed it. When I went to grab it back, she came around with a knife and stabbed me on the left side of my stomach.
He now has a dozen staples and stitches.
It's changed my life. I'm afraid. I am afraid.
Griffin was arrested and charged with assault and resisting arrest. And this is not the first time Griffin has been.
Damn, she can get it. How you doing? Look at that, guys.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
And arrested for assaulting a person while on the job. Back in March of
Look at that.
2023.
And she still has a job. She still has a job. Guys, why is the race card not out? Look at that, guys, right? Guys, black fatigue yet? Anyone? The fatigue is real.
56-year-old Flatbush woman was hospitalized after she says Griffin attacked her. The victim also taking out her phone to record.
Couldn't believe it.
Lamboy questioning why Griffin was still on the job after that.
In most places, if you have violence like that, you're fired. You're terminated. You're not working there again.
Griffin is now out on bond. The United States.
And she got bond too? Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Its Postal Inspection Service says they are working with the NYPD and cannot comment further.
Guys,
AJ, I gotta say, dude, us white people, we're not just sick and tired of the black fatigue. We're sick and tired of the goddamn black privilege.
Yeah.
You know damn well. You know damn well if I pulled even half of that, I'd be under the goddamn jail.
For sure. Under the jail. Yep. Doesn't make any sense, man. Doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, there's a new episode of Intervention. No way. Guys, look, we might have to have a watch party on Discord one day, So guys, guys, anything else about this debate,
Well, as I mentioned yesterday, I almost watched his channel for the recap of his debate. And after about 5-10 minutes, I was like, something now, I can't watch it. But now I might just watch it to see how he reframes this debacle.
Oh, Andrews?
No, the Muslim guy.
Oh, he had a follow-up stream?
Yes, he did it actually 4 hours.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, how do you have a recap that's twice as long, that's longer than the actual debate? But yeah, but he was framing it and showing how he won.
Guys, hold on. Apparently, Piers Morgan just had Andrew Wilson on recently, and Andrew Wilson was like, "Is this it?" Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what we can see here. Do they have timestamps? Yes. Here we go. Let's see.
Not, but I was there the same week that they started throwing people in prison for Facebook comments.
There are issues in the United Kingdom, in Britain.
Cool.
There are issues about free speech, proper issues, right? People have been imprisoned for stuff they put on Facebook. I don't like it.
Which is absolutely absurd. You make a social media post and you go to jail. Guys, is that not an authoritarian regime right there? That's the hallmark of one. Insane.
I like seeing Graham Linehan being arrested at the airport by armed policemen for jokes he put on X a few months before. All that stuff is ridiculous. I don't like the fact that seemingly a quarter of all the people now on benefits in this country are people suffering from anxiety. We've become a soft, weak country.
Careful, Piers. I thought he was going to say immigrants. And say, careful, Piers.
And we're enabling people to play that card to avoid putting in a hard day's work, and they're getting paid by us to sit at home. I don't like any of that, right? I do think there are some issues on the immigration thing which are serious. The small boat scandal, which it is, the tens of thousands of people just coming in on boats all the time, especially when the weather's good, is terrible and has to stop. We lost the plot completely with legal migration, allowing way too many dependents to come in. Our public services simply can't cope with the avalanche of people that were coming. However, the idea that we're living in some kind of Islamist state now and that nobody can walk the streets of London without fearing for their life is massively exaggerated.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Says Piers Morgan, who's rich and doesn't go to the working class parts of the city, right? This is what J.K. Rowling said about that chick that was Hermione talking about, Transformers. She's like, you're rich. You've been rich since you were young. You don't have to go to the same places where working class women have to go. Yeah, Mr. Smith said it the best, that authoritarian regimes aren't possible without the female vote. Facts.
So I do think it's good, and it's been whipped up a lot in America, I have to say, where I say to my American friends, you really need to come to London and you need to sort of walk around. I mean, just walk around. Trust me, I was in New York recently, LA, I was in Miami. I don't feel any more fear than in London than I do in any of those cities. So we've got to get perspective here. However, there are fundamental points about things like free speech, about control of migration, which there are legitimate concerns being raised by legitimate people who actually are right. These things have to be dealt with, and they're not being dealt with.
Absolutely. And I think often our media tends to exaggerate some things as well, Piers. I was in New York 2 weeks ago and had a lovely experience. I think the fear certainly is
I mean, he's really significant.
Looking for fees to American citizens, the Zohran Mamdanis and radical socialists of the world. Rather, I would argue, I think young people are frustrated because the administration hasn't yet been conservative enough with the expectation of governance on offense that young people resoundingly voted returning President Trump to the Oval Office. People are looking for an immigration moratorium, giving H-1B visa job opportunities to American citizens. We're looking for more mass deportations. We're looking for the ability to buy a home so that we can revive the American family again. And we are seeing the baby steps to get there start happening at the White House, but we're looking for a full court press ahead, not just baby steps.
And Paula, before I come to you,
she's right.
I just
right.
want to ask,
about
Andrew, I just want to ask Andrew specifically, actually, about Nick Fuente's role in all this, because he is gathering a lot of momentum.
Guys, I said this once, I'll say it again. C-Grip, agree with me here. NF is inevitable. That guy Guys, they've already done everything that they can to cancel him. Guys, he's rising from the ashes and he cannot be stopped. He's a freight train. All these podcasters and all these streamers are actually starting to have him on now. Young kids already know who he is. Guys, I don't agree with some of the stuff that he says, but guys, once again, do I believe that his intentions are good? Yes. Right? Do I think that by him turning young men of all races, but mostly white men, away from being freaking beta male losers, right? That's a good thing. Yes, right? Guys, here's a crazy thing. People have this thing where that was like, well, AJ, how can you watch NF and when he says those things about black people, does that apply to me? No, I'm not that type of person. So guys, I can look at what he says and actually take the good stuff and throw out the bad stuff. I don't have to agree with everything that a person says. But guys, think of this. He couldn't even have a bank account. And now, guys, isn't it funny how everything that NF said 5 or 6 years ago is all popular now? The small hat place is getting dunked on. Black fatigue, right? All this stuff. Immigration, right? Everyone just kind of caught up to his platform. Isn't that funny how that works, you know?
Disputably.
Yeah, Mr. Smith said it. And guys, people, you can't call me a racist because I am black, you know? And I think that someone like him is going to end up doing more good than harm, you know?
Capitalizing on all this, how significant is he in this ongoing debate?
I mean, he's really significant, and that's the truth. And I'll point something out that is also true. TPUSA moved a lot more towards the positions of Nick Fuentes than Nick Fuentes moved towards the positions of TPUSA, and that's a fact. That's an uncontroversial fact at this point. Now, do I agree with everything that Nick says? No, I don't need to. He doesn't agree with everything I say either. But he is.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
Right about this. Until this administration addresses mass migration, the issue of our time, and the issue of the people in the UK, their time as well, he's going to continue to be more unpopular and move down in the polls. It's not about transparency or the Epstein files. She's absolutely right. It's about conservative issues. And we need to see Trump take a more conservative approach to the things that we want. That's what we want.
Yeah. Because honestly, like the Epstein files, guys, I don't really care. I just want deportations. I want these knuckleheads out of here. I want a strong border policy. Because secret, once again, bro, who's the most and first affected by illegal immigration?
It's going to be us, minorities.
Thank you. It's us black people. Thank you very much. And the fact that I know black people are these immigrants and deportations. Where's the due process? Like, do you guys know what you're talking about? What did he say? A suicidal empathy? You know? Guys, it amazes me that the black community as a whole sees this immigration thing as our problem, and it's not our problem. Guys, so hold on. Secret, you're trying to tell me that there's ICE agents grabbing illegal immigrants of all groups off the street and kicking them out of this country? Guys,
That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me.
I don't care. I don't care. That has nothing to do with any of us at all. So,
Paula, thank you for your patience. Welcome back to Uncensored. This whole thing about immigration. It's been raging now as a debate in America, in the United Kingdom, across Europe. Clearly, there are.
This is one of these black, actually, everything in England's about racism and Jim Crow. There was no Jim Crow in the UK, you dunderhead. It just drives me crazy. All these guys, the thing about Pearly Things, this show, and then watching Piers Morgan, guys, back in the B-dubs in the UK are just as dumb as they are here in the United States. They're just as useless, disruptive, and moronic in the UK as they are in the United States.
A lot of issues about the way governments around the world have handled the issue of immigration, particularly mass migration of millions and millions of people across the continent of Europe, never mind anything else. It's been nearly 10 million people have come across in the last few years. And we had 10 million people entering the US illegally in the Biden administration. And that may be a conservative estimate. These things are causing a lot of anger amongst people who are in countries legally, who do all the paperwork. I've repeated this many times, but it's worth mentioning again. For me to own a home in America and to work there, I go through a very laborious process every 3 years or so to renew my visa, to do it all above board, to be completely legal, as do millions of other people. And I'm not American, but I quite resent people just popping over the border illegally when they fancy it. Because I think, well, they're not paying, they're not going through this laborious process. Why are they getting away with this? So I do think that there is more that can be done. It's just a question of how much more and how you do it. The UK policies under successive governments have been utterly useless. We've got 50, 60,000 people just coming over on these small boats from France with complete impunity.
35,000, I think, was the last count.
For this year?
Yeah.
What will it be by the end of the year?
Well, we're a month to go.
Right, but I think it's a new record, right? This is from Sakir Starmer, the Prime Minister promised to smash the gangs.
I just think we need to be careful, though. This is exactly the point, isn't it? That we need to be careful.
And actually, it's not that big of a problem. I don't know what you're saying, this Piers. What a joke. What an absolute joke. A B-dub, guys, B-dubs that have never contributed anything positive, anything ever, have the nerve to try and say that we don't know anything about anything.
For when we're talking about figures, what we're actually talking about is human beings. We're talking about lives. We're talking about people who have lost their lives because they are seeking
Look at Andrew.
a better life.
And guys, see. This is why I can't debate. Guys, I can't. Andrew can be quiet, but everything that Andrew's feeling, I verbalize.
And because
hang on.
opportunity.
We found out.
Let's not conflate
but you are conflating two
refugee and asylum seekers with those who are seeking to make a better life for themselves.
Here's the thing, guys. Your country being poor is not a good enough reason to legally go to another country. Asylum and refugees are coming from war and ethnic cleansings. But to say, well, yeah, my country's poor, because everyone bangs their cousins, so let's go to the UK, that's not a good enough reason. Look at that.
And the opportunity for them to do that is either limited or severely restricted.
What about those who are simply gaming the system? There was a purge, for example, specifically with.
And there's the brain drain, guys. There's a brain drain. If all the smartest, best people, which I'll grant, probably not, are leaving, how is their home country supposed to get better?
People coming into Britain illegally from Albania. Turned out 15,000 Albanians in 1 year were just coming over, who were young, perfectly fit, healthy people, male predominantly, who wanted to get a better economic life for themselves. They're not asylum seekers. They're not refugees. They're people who live in Albania who just want to come and try their luck in the UK. I don't blame them for trying, but a system that just allows 15,000 to come in as we did in that way, and we had a word with the Albanian government, did a deal, and suddenly it was stopped. But it should never have been happening to start with. Every so often there's a piece of cinematic entertainment.
I'm intrigued that you don't blame them for trying, because of course you understand what it is to have ambition.
No, I don't blame people. Paula, I don't blame people for trying to get.
I'm grateful that you said that.
Let me clear.
See this gaslighting here, right?
Hang on. Let me be clear. I don't blame anyone for trying their luck right? The world is full of people that do that. But
multi-millionaires and billionaires who try their luck.
But as Ronald Reagan so rightly put it, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country, right? And that is obviously true. And the way that we in the UK have tried to manage our border has been ridiculous. I mean, there's a great irony today that new figures came out about legal immigration numbers, which are now falling quite precipitously in the UK from a net migration in 2023 of nearly 1 million people in a country of just under 70 million. So a vast number of people coming in with the government's endorsement who were coming in legally, mainly people we wanted to come in, bringing in all sorts of...
Guys, that's almost as many people as the United States takes in. And we have, what? Yeah, 3 or 4 times that population. Insane.
Dependence. So nearly 1 million people in 1 year, obviously completely unsustainable on already creaking public services. And what's happened in the last year since the Labour government came into power? I think nearly 500,000 people have left the country, right? They've just said, we're out of here because this is no longer an attractive place to live.
Who has made...
So in a way, the immigration issue is being resolved by people literally fleeing Britain to avoid the calamitous state of the country right now.
Who has made those people feel so unwelcome?
Keep voting against this. They keep voting against this. They keep voting against mass migration, and they keep being ignored. And they've been voting against it, for 30, 40 years. And
because
they just
they've been
keep
sold
being
a lie.
ignored.
They've been sold a lie about mass immigration because you can go on our government website. You can go on our government website now, the .gov website now, and you will see the very long list of empty jobs that are desperately required to be filled. So we can talk about
and the low labor, low IQ dunderheads that you're allowing to immigrate will fill those jobs, please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
About jobs from our construction industry,
Lady, they call it Londinistan.
to our care industry, to our medical industry, to vets.
What are you talking? What? They call it Londinistan. People are so angry there.
Who calls it that?
It's a boiling pot.
Who calls it that?
Hang on.
Who calls it that?
It's a boiling pot.
Who calls it that?
And the thing is, it's like it can be totally avoided. It can be totally avoided if you follow the actual will. Hang on. If you followed your actual will of your own people who consistently vote against this stuff, and you guys use every back door in the world to ignore them anyway, even though your own people are like, we don't want it anymore. They've consistently voted against it, and the UK government consistently betrays them.
I don't know who calls it that name, and I don't know who you're referencing when you say your people.
You've never heard that, huh?
But what I do understand is that we have been...
I don't know what you mean when you say your people. Right there, guys. Disingenuous.
Consistently misled about the importance of immigration, about why we need people to come to this country and to your great nation to work. We see that in your farmers, for example, who are struggling to get their crops in, who are losing money over and over and over because they do not have the workforce to replace it with those that have lost. And when we talk about, Piers, the people who have departed from this great nation, why is it? Well, it's the same thing that we saw with Brexit, wasn't it? When we saw the great Polish workers and the Romanians, etc., leaving in droves because they were chased away by the blatant racism, the outrageous behavior that they were receiving.
We can address the point. Like you just said a bunch of stuff that wasn't true. What actually happens is not that we need more illegal immigrants, especially here in the United States. What happens with these farmers is they get massive subsidies. The will of the people is that we don't want mass migration, and a country is made up of its people. Our people don't want mass migration. The people in the UK don't want mass migration, and my GDP argument is not going to help you with that. You understand?
Every country,
there's more important things than second-class slave laborers to fill your pockets.
Of mass migration.
They don't want mass migration.
Every country has grown great from mass migration. So to deny that is misleading society.
It's not misleading.
We continue to...
Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, right? You know what I mean? Hit the super chat button. I'd appreciate that.
need mass migration to grow our
Paula,
economy.
it is not,
it's a very basic fact.
It is not misleading to say we have let too many people come into Britain, both illegally and legally, in the last few years.
I accept that there is regular immigration and irregular immigration. I do not accept that.
And this is why you go, why don't you, in those corporations that you own stock in, you want cheap labor for them. I understand you now. That'll blow her whole argument out of the water.
Human beings are illegal.
All right, I agree with you about Brexit. I voted against Brexit. My worst fears are being materialized. And you talk to any hotelier, restaurateur in any of the major cities, they can't get the staff anymore because they've all disappeared, right? And that's been a real problem of that. But there's another issue, which actually we can discuss as a group, I think, here, which is if you look at the numbers of people who are out of work on benefits, in other words, the state is paying for them, a very large number now in the UK, it's like 5 million in total, over 1 million of those are off work with anxiety. When did we as a society, Paula, allow millions of people to simply say, I'm feeling a bit anxious, I can't go to work, the state has to pay me? This is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't recognize what you've just said.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Right, guys? Absolutely insane.
You stupid woman.
Guys, and this is why we should have never let these knuckleheads into politics, guys. What a joke. What an absolute joke, guys.
I don't recognize what you've just said as what is happening.
You sound like a politician.
I appreciate.
You're not denying the facts, surely.
Well, what I understand is that to get signed off sick from work, you need to go and see your GP. So what you're suggesting to me is that a professional is now complicit in defrauding.
I'm saying it's a load of old baloney.
But that's what you're saying.
I'm saying it's a load of old baloney.
Is complicit in defrauding our benefit system.
Well, I'm not suggesting that.
This is why I couldn't debate, guys. Because now there's people that she knows that what she's saying is bullshit. She knows it. But she has her woke audience of liberals. We're trying to save the world by putting out hashtags in Instagram posts, right? She knows she's full of it. But she can't back off or she'll get cooked by her own audience and her own party, right?
I'm saying a lot of people
so
are
that means that the people who have been signed off work sick have been signed off work sick because they are
And let me
sick
tell you,
kids.
Paula, it's a load of old flannel, and you know it, right? Anyway, let's get back to the bigger picture of Trump here. Isabel.
But aren't you guys? You know what? It's like another. You know what? I want to watch this, guys. Yeah. You know what, guys? This annoys me. These morons. But guys, let's clean our palates here, right? Let's switch gears, right? Because guys, watching B-dubs get body slammed is always fun, right? Right, guys? Here we go.
That's the sound of the police.
Here we go. Let's go.
Inside a casino in Des Plaines, early one morning, a routine removal of a group turns into a moment of violence.
She did not do shit.
All right, guys, they don't want you here.
I didn't do nothing to them. Who do I talk to about that, though, baby?
Look at the bull ring. Look at Secret, dude. Dog. Oh my God, guys! Would you even let these two knuckleheads into your restaurant, guys? If you had a restaurant or a casino, or whatever, guys, I wouldn't even let them in. You know, I'd be like freaking Gandalf. You shall not pass.
They don't want you. They just don't want you here.
Well, who do I talk to about that? Y'all just let them do that?
Tim says she looks like R-Truth.
I'm losing $4,800. What point do they have? No reason, no point.
You know it's your private property.
That's bogus. Hey, that's bogus as hell. Who do I talk to about them, though?
You just gonna go.
So you just let them win, right?
No, I ain't let nobody win.
Come on now. Come on. That shit bogus when I'm losing money.
Let's go. Get your money. Let's go.
When you're at a casino, guess what? You're gonna lose my money.
Ain't no just get my money, just go when I'm losing $4,800, bro.
I know. You came here to play. You gotta lose.
What about them? They mad at another motherfucker. I don't got nothing to do with what they talking about anyway.
You get your people telling you let's go.
Baby, I don't got nothing to do with what they talking about.
They
mad because I want to listen.
This
DuPage County. Well, leave them on these. I don't need you. Thank you. I don't need no motherfucker. What I'm trying to tell you, they bogus as hell.
Let's calm down.
Y'all can't keep doing that. Y'all can't keep letting no motherfucker that's bogus as hell. But so why you doing? Why is you doing?
Ma'am, let's go.
Why is you letting your cause he work here get down on me when I ain't did no wrong
He
shit?
don't want you here, so let's go.
But he disrespected me. I wasn't even playing on.
He disrespected me. Jesus. Look at this.
Go online and then do a complaint.
Ain't no online when I'm here. So where I talk to while I'm right here?
We can't talk to nobody.
No. You ain't gonna tell me that. I can talk to whoever I'm here at this facility.
Let's leave.
I should be able to talk
Stop
to the
yelling
manager.
at me. I'm not yelling at you.
Just talk.
Let's leave.
What the manager?
Let's leave.
I want to talk to whoever owns this bitch.
Let's go.
I know my rights, baby.
Ma'am.
I know my
That's your
rights.
private property. They
My
don't want-
motherfucking mama
No,
is the
you
motherfucking
too
state
close to my
representative
face.
here.
Too
My
close to
mama
my
is state
face.
representative.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ain't no let's
Let's
go
go
outside.
outside.
I'm gonna get my bread. Out somewhere.
Can you guys catch her out so we can leave?
In the door they is. But y'all not gonna tell me that they could be racist to me and do shit to me.
Oh, and there's the race card, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Y'all want to press charges, so let me. She didn't do nothing.
Captain Palsy, she's not big enough to have to translate. She's right on the edge, you know?
What the paperwork? I want to press charges.
All right, we'll do it outside.
I call the police. I want to press it here. They have it here. They have it here. No, I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. I want to do it here.
We're gonna go.
I don't want to go outside.
You gotta leave.
No, it happened
Get your
here.
money. Get your
It's
money.
him.
Just get your money.
Hey, look, it's against him. I don't want to go outside.
Get your money.
I don't want to go outside. It's
Is that
against
your
him.
phone? What's her phone?
I ain't going outside though.
You gotta leave, man.
I'm not. I'm pressing charge against him.
For what?
Why do I gotta go outside? Cause he pushed
They don't
me.
want you. They
He
don't want
pushed me.
They
And
don't
he
want you.
disrespecting me. Why do I gotta go outside?
Because
Tell me
they
the reason why I
They
gotta
don't
go.
want you here.
Okay? And I want to press charges because he the one. I don't want to call
You
the
guys
police.
can go.
I'll call the police
I
first.
got Sam. They didn't call the police. They called the police. Ma'am, just get your stuff and let's go.
Y'all be bogus as hell. Y'all don't care.
Let's go.
You gotta go or you're gonna get
What's
arrested.
Get arrested for
It's
what?
trespassing. They don't want you here.
I said I want to press charges.
Trespassing.
I call the
We can
police.
talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it outside.
Just walk.
Let's go outside.
Sometimes you just gotta walk shit off.
Let's go. Let's do it outside.
No matter what.
Yep. Let's do it outside.
Also, me. Oh, because he work here. Oh, because he
You
work
just
here.
being too touchy right now. Let's
They
go.
call all type of
Let's go. Let's go. You can file complaint.
That's a big too though.
All right, then let's get the fuck out of here. Then.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
I said I want to press charges.
Let's go.
Hold on. Let me
Let's
put
go
this shit on
outside.
camera.
Hey, we gotta go outside. We're not gonna stay here all day.
I'm
Let's
gonna
go.
get my
Let's go
money.
outside.
I'm getting my
You
money.
got your money already. You got your shit already.
Stop pinching
Let's
me, y'all.
go.
Hey,
You got your shit already. Let's go.
Dude, finally, this cop is not taking any mess.
Stop pinching
Let's
my
go.
skin.
I know nobody's picturing shit. Let's go.
And y'all ass right just
Let's get the fuck out of here then.
I don't get no fuck out practice as hell.
You guys have fatigue yet?
Y'all ass practice. Let me go. I'm walking out.
Just
So
walk
I-
out.
All right, let's go.
I'm already walking.
Let's go.
Why'd you pinching my
I
arm?
know nobody's picturing shit.
Yes, you is.
Let's go.
y'all ass.
Let's go.
Get out.
Let her go. Just call her.
Okay, I'm out. Now let me go. Let me go. So let me
Put your
go.
husband, baby. You take it right now.
Well, now she's under arrest.
It's time!
Where's my phone here?
So what she go?
I ain't do nothing.
Oh, it's staying over there. Fuck right, go over there.
You know that? I left out.
So okay, so let her go.
Go over there.
Let her go.
Oh, shit. What the?
Go. Let her go.
What's up?
Let her go.
And now she's cooked out.
It's time!
Dumbass.
Let her go. Let me 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 go. Let her go, man.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not,
Put your husband back. Put your husband. Put your husband
I'm
back.
not doing nothing.
Put, you're under arrest. Put your husband back.
Okay, I'm right
Put
here.
your, right. Put your husband back.
Let her go, man. Let her go. Let
Dumbass.
her go. Let her go.
Her wig came off. Guys, look, her wig came off too. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Let her the go, because they ain't doing shit. She ain't doing shit.
Put your fucking hand behind your back. I'm gonna take you to the ground.
I'm not doing nothing, baby. I'm not disrespecting you. That's my little.
Let me get your other hand. Let me get your other hand.
But you see what that's what they do. That's what they do.
Y'all ass the rest off for what? Then y'all ass some bitches. Let me the fuck go. Let me go. Y'all ass racist. Y'all ass racist. Record us, Chico.
6-1, show 2 in custody. Yeah, I got it.
I ain't moving away from him. I'm talking to my friend right here. I'm talking to him. He right here.
All right, I'm gonna take your money. Put it in, look.
No, don't take my money. Please don't.
All right, you come both come with us.
Dumbasses.
You see, but you see how her demeanor changed when she saw how they handled her.
Yeah,
Calmed
yeah,
him down.
yeah. And this one just walked away. You know.
You touch me, you kick me, and do anything. Yo, ass going down. Y'all ass some bitches.
All right, we're gonna lift you up, man. All right.
Y'all ass. Grab my wig. Y'all ass. Get my shit. I don't care. Y'all ass racist as fuck. Y'all ass racist.
Where's your car? You wanna go to your car?
Y'all ass racist.
I'm not running from you, sir.
Go to the car. You go to the car. You go to the car. I know you're going to the car.
Yeah, see now how she's saying they're racist and it just doesn't mean anything at all, you know? And guys, this is what it takes for them to actually be somewhat respectful.
Please let me talk to you. I'm so sorry for coming at you wrong. I'm so sorry for being disrespectful. Please just let me talk to you. I'm so sorry for being a dumbass bitch.
All right, we told you get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. All right, stay the fuck back here. Okay, go. Get her purse. What else? You want to give him your money?
No, hell no.
All right.
What I do to you?
Trespass.
What I do?
Trespass.
You said I'm going to jail for trespass. I ain't do shit. I'm going to jail for trespass. No, let's walk down here. No.
You're not going to tell me where the fuck to go.
Record it, bro.
I ain't got no phone.
My phone is at the phone. No, record it.
Of course, Nug doesn't have a phone, right?
Stay the fuck right here. What?
I didn't do shit to you.
What? Stop you
I
resisting.
didn't do shit. I'm not resisting. What I do to you?
You guys just had to leave. Why you got to do extra?
We did.
No, you didn't.
But
Then you're still drinking, my
God.
guy.
I don't get no, because y'all ass being racist. Let me, why you strong on me?
Because you protecting us. Go over here.
Okay. Stop strong arguing. Show big head. Let me stop strong arguing. Time back.
Get her.
Let me the go.
It's gonna make sure you get no weapon.
I ain't got no come out weapon in.
Just relax.
Bitch, son, y'all ass bitches. Come.
Why you locking me up?
Get in the fucking car.
Why you locking me up, though?
Trespassing. Get in the car.
Damn.
Are you gonna go that way?
You locking me down. You knocked me on the floor.
Stand up. Stand the fuck up.
Hold on, I'll get in. You don't got to
Get in.
get in.
Get
I'm getting in. You didn't tell me to.
Get in.
This woman was cited for misdemeanor trespass and disorderly conduct.
Chico, shut up talking to me. For real.
The other woman was charged with a felony count of aggravated battery to a peace officer and brought to a Cook County courthouse for a detention hearing. Want to watch more videos like this one? Click the one on the screen.
Well, nurse, and when you
Nurse and a DUI, guys. We'll have to do, guys. The next 50304's live stream that we're gonna do will be crazy ex-girlfriends, and then we'll do nurses. Because
I'm gonna have to join that stream
out there because guys, nurses are the worstest.
Well, it's gonna be
worse.
Is it nurses or crazy ex-girlfriends?
The next 50304's live will be crazy ex-girlfriends.
Okay, so I'm at to tune in for that one.
Yeah, but guys, I'll be out of town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Coming back on Friday, guys. So I'll probably do a live Friday night. But there's no lives the rest of the week. So guys, if I don't talk to you guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat food, be safe. Don't deal with any foolish B-dubs or friggin' crazy 304s. But all right, guys, appreciate
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving, brother. You take it easy.
Hey,